Smoke up, that's in the blend. Free up the guys and dip out the ends. Jump in the ride and burn up the rims. Don't stop, don't watch the boy that I'm in. Block for the yacht for events. Skin kept close, cause you plotting on them with the tits on 10. Back in the back, that's on tap, all ready to go and jump in. Never keep it real in the ends. Never leave crib where the ends. Me and that kid, we don't even need to pretend. Being like them, never keep it real in my face on a car with snakes. Watch them feet from my wave, they cut. Life so deep, if they don't teach. Don't feel it's like I was driving on none.
Does anybody even listen to this kind of shit anymore?
What do you mean?
This isn't real music. Hip-hop is dead. Dead. Nobody knows how to make real music anymore. Dead. Dead.
Flashback, what you got, man, didn't crack that. In and out of dolo when a new man to the boy got on him and he cracked that. Man, I don't act like heads off, yeah, all of that one pack. I could be anywhere, feeling alright. Till the game on the head is all mad at, mad at, mad at.
भैया हमको फ्री फायर खेलना है, बड़े भैया हमको फ्री फायर खेलना है। बड़े भैया इसको हीलिंग बैटल में हरा दो। बड़े भैया हमको फ्री फायर खेलना है। छोड़ भाई हील बैटल कर लेते पर मेड किट नहीं है पास। छोड़ भाई फ्री फायर खेल लेते पर फोन में नहीं है नेट। छोड़ भाई फ्री फायर खेल लेते पर नहीं चल रहा दिमाग। मुझको फ्री फायर खेलना है, फ्री फायर खेलना। बड़े भाई फ्री फायर खेलते खेलते नेट उड़ गया। वो 2G के नेट पे पूरा मेरा दिन कटा। वो फ्री फायर फोन कवर वाला फोन भी खो गया, हो गया। बड़े भाई फ्री फायर खेलना है, बड़े भाई हीलिंग बैटल में हरा दो। बड़े भाई फ्री फायर खेलना है। बड़े भाई जो भी इस रील को देख रहे हैं प्लीज लाइक कर देना कि ये वाईफाई चोरी करे लो अभी पहला। वो जो चुपके से बैठे मेरे गेम पर शूट, वो जैसे तैसे हीलिंग बैट में सर्कल ले रहा। मेरी स्किन देख बेबी मेरी फ्री फायर मैक्स की, तू किल देख मेरी या फिर देखो मेरी केडी। और वक्त नहीं देना इन्हें, करूँ पुश रैंक मेरे पास में तो वहाँ मत आके ना फेंक। बेबी बैठे बैठे गिनता मैं नोट पे बॉक्स, इन लड़कों को रखता मैं भैया के स्कोप पे। D&D भी ऑन है फोन पे, पाउडर है उंगली ना हट जाए लॉबी में खौफ में ना देता रैम को ना फोन चाहे फट जाए फोन भी बदल देंगे। फ्री फायर लव बॉयज दो का है सर्कल में, और मेरा बड़ा भाई कौन जीता कौन हारा देख लेगा मेरे भाई। फ्री फायर खेलना है, फ्री फायर खेलना मुझे भाई हीलिंग बैटल में हरा दो। हीलिंग बैटल में बड़े भाई फ्री फायर खेलना है, फ्री फायर खेलना। भाई जो भी इस रील को देख रहे हैं प्लीज लाइक कर देना कि ये फोन लेना है।
Bad on my peak, but I was a peak. ले पैनल की यार में अगर ये मौत मरे तुझे ऑफ करे। मेरी AK-47 गोल्ड है बहुत। बैटरी में ईगल के सर्कल के बीच में अकेले में घूमूं, कोई ना खौफ दिखे तुझे ऑफ करे। मेरी AK-47 गोल्ड रेको हैकर है कहता रह जाएगा भैया किसको पे बच के ही मानेगा। लड़कों में स्किन लगा के करीना की किसको पटाएगा वो भी बता के जा। हैकर है लॉबी में हैकर है बचकाने छोड़ दे गुटका तेरा घर पे लगे ना चोट तुझे तभी ऑफ करे लगा माइक पे।
बड़े भाई फ्री फायर खेलना है, बड़े भाई हीलिंग बैटल में हरा दो। बड़े भाई फ्री फायर खेलना है। छोड़े भाई जो भी इस रील को देख रहे हैं प्लीज लाइक कर देना कि ये फोन लेना है।
लाइव फ्री फायर गेम की तरह है। हम हर गेम जीतते नहीं पर हर गेम से सीखते जरूर हैं। मेरा नाम है प्रियंक पटेल। मैं एलजी यूनिवर्सिटी में पिछले 6 साल से बच्चों को ऑटोमोबाइल इंजीनियरिंग पढ़ाता हूँ। मेरे जो दोस्त थे उन्होंने बोला कि आप फ्री फायर अच्छी खेलते हो, अच्छी सिखाते हो, तो क्यों ना आप गेम सिखाने के वीडियोस बनाइए। और इसीलिए मैंने गेमिंग चैनल फ्री फायर की शुरू की। सुबह 6 बजे से लेकर शाम के 4 बजे तक मैं आपको एक सिंसियर प्रोफेसर की तरह दिखूंगा, और फिर शाम को 4 बजे से रात के 12 बजे तक एक हार्डकोर गेमर। फ्री फायर के वीडियोस में सबसे पहले मैं स्ट्रीमिंग करता था। एक टाइम ऐसा आया कि मेरी स्ट्रीमिंग पीक पे चल रही थी और एग्जाम्स आके रुक गई, तो मैंने कस्टम रूम्स क्रिएट करना स्टार्ट किया, और उसी टाइम पे एंट्री होती है 3 लोगों की, स्टॉर्म, AK और अर्पित। तो शुरुआत तो हमने एक दूसरे के ऑपोजिट में खेलने से की थी, मगर बाद में पता चला कि साथ में बहुत ज्यादा अच्छा खेल सकते हैं। जो हम साथ में खेलते थे वो गेम से इतना अच्छा बॉन्डिंग बन गया। सो इट इज बेसिकली कि 4 दोस्त आप साथ में बैठे हो, गप्पे लड़ा रहे हो और साथ में गेम भी खेल रहे हो।
कभी मिला आप लोग?
नहीं, हम एक्चुअली में चारों एक दूसरे को कभी नहीं मिले। प्लान बहुत बने मगर मिले कभी नहीं। इंजीनियरिंग में एक कॉन्सेप्ट है क्वांटम एंटेंगलमेंट। दो पार्टिकल के बीच में कितना भी डिस्टेंस हो, वो दोनों एक दूसरे से रिलेटेड रहते हैं। यहां पे हमारी जो दोस्ती है वो बिल्कुल क्वांटम एंटेंगलमेंट की तरह है। हम चारों एक दूसरे से दूर हैं, मगर किसी एक पे भी कुछ भी होता है तो फील चारों करते हैं, रिएक्ट चारों करते हैं। इस चीज को आप टीम सिनर्जी कह लो, ब्रदरहुड कह लो, बॉन्डिंग कह लो, कुछ भी कह लो। वो कहते हैं ना, ब्रदर फ्रॉम अनदर मदर।
मेरा नाम हर्षित है और मेरा इन गेम नेम पीजी स्टॉर्म है। मैं गुवाहाटी द सिटी ऑफ टेम्पल्स में रहता हूँ।
स्टॉर्म जो है ना, वो एकदम रिवेंज टाइप का कैरेक्टर है, इजीली ट्रिगर्ड पर्सन आप बोल सकते हो।
प्रीसर के चैनल पे एक लाइव स्ट्रीम हो रहा था जहाँ पे कस्टम रूम्स होते थे। एक राउंड में प्रीसर ने मेरे को नॉक किया और मैंने एक राउंड में प्रीसर को नॉक किया था। फिर मैं और प्रीसर एक साथ ग्रुप में आए कि भाई कैसा लगा ऐसे करके।
मेरा नाम है अमल कृष्णा, 20 years of age। मेरा इन गेम नेम है मिस्टर एके।
एके एक्चुअली में केरला से है और एके का जो कैरेक्टर है वो भी एग्जैक्टली साउथ के मूवी के हीरो जैसा है। उसके साथ अगर आप खेल रहे हो ना तो आप कभी बोर नहीं होंगे। उसे पंगे लेना बहुत ज़्यादा पसंद है।
और वो हमेशा बोलता रहता था एक मेडिकेट दे दो मैं सबको नॉक कर दूंगा, पर नॉक खुद ही हो जाता था जाके।
और उससे भी स्पेशली पसंद है मेरी किल चोरी करना।
भाई मेरा चोरी होता है किल। मैं किसी को चोरी नहीं करता, वो लोग मेरा किल चोरी करते हैं।
मेरा नाम है अर्पित पठानिया, मैं हूँ हिमाचल प्रदेश से। करंटली मैं चंडीगढ़ में रहता हूँ।
अर्पित बेसिकली बहुत ज़्यादा म्यूट रहता है,
कुछ मुंह से आवाज़ ही नहीं निकलता था।
और इसलिए कोई इंपॉर्टेंट सिचुएशन में अगर कोई इन्फॉर्मेशन देनी है कि कोई रश कर रहा है या ये हो रहा है वो हो रहा है तो वो दे नहीं पाता। गेम में बेसिकली अर्पित और स्टॉर्म ये दोनों रशर है, क्लोज रेंज फाइट्स के एक्सपर्ट है और वो हमेशा आगे भागते हैं। मैं स्नाइपर हूँ और इन गेम लीडर हूँ तो मैं सबसे पीछे रहता हूँ। उन दोनों और मेरे बीच में रहता है एके, जो कि एक फ्रैगर है और एक असल्टर है। स्टॉर्म और एके जाते हैं रश करने के लिए, फिर क्या हो जाते हैं दोनों नॉकडाउन।
स्टॉर्म तो बोलता रहता था कि भाई तू आगे चल, मैं तेरे पीछे कवर देने के लिए हूँ।
और मुझे और अर्पित को जाना पड़ता है रिवाइव करने। नॉर्मली जब कैजुअल मैचेस खेलते हैं तो एक दूसरे की टांग खींचने में से लोग ऊपर नहीं आते। यही लोग प्रोफेशनल मैचेस खेलने जाते हैं, कोई क्रूशियल मैचेस खेल रहे हैं, रैंक पुश कर रहे हैं, तो एक दूसरे के गेम प्ले को इतना ज़्यादा समझते हैं कि बोलना भी नहीं पड़ता है और एक दूसरे को असिस्ट मिल जाता है। धीरे धीरे व्हाट्सएप के नंबर एक्सचेंज हुए, व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप क्रिएट हुआ और फिर हमारा एक टाइम था कि रात को 9 बजे स्ट्रीम स्टार्ट करना है।
रूटीन बन गया हमारा कि 9 बजे है तो अपन गेम में आना है, स्क्वाड पे लोग वेट कर रहे हैं।
व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप पे मैसेजेस आना स्टार्ट हो जाता था कि भाई आ जाओ।
सुबह से लेके शाम तक 9 बजे का वेट करते थे, बिकॉज सभी लोग उसी टाइम पे ऑनलाइन आते थे और उसी टाइम पे खेलते थे।
और अगर मैं लेट हो गया हूँ, मैं खाना खा रहा हूँ, तो मेरे को फ़ोन पे फ़ोन आ रहे, सर कहाँ हो, 9 बजे स्ट्रीम स्टार्ट करना है, स्ट्रीम पे आ जाओ। उस टाइम पे बॉन्डिंग ऐसी थी ना कि अगर कोई मुझको बोल जाता है ना तो दे आर बी लाइक सर आप जवाब नहीं दोगे, आप क्यों अपना मुंह खराब करोगे, हम बैठे हैं ना आपकी ओर से। एक टाइम था जब स्ट्रीम पे बिल्कुल वॉचिंग नहीं आ रही थी, बहुत ज़्यादा डीमोटिवेट हो गया था मैं। इन लोगों ने फ़ोन करके बोला कि सर आप लाइव करना शुरू करो, आपको वॉचिंग आ जाएगी। मैंने लाइव स्टार्ट किया, 5-6 की वॉचिंग आ रही है। आई वॉज सरप्राइज कि ऐसे कैसे, मगर फिर मुझे एक दिन बाद पता चलता है कि ये लोग अपने मम्मी पापा के फ़ोन में लाइव स्ट्रीम लगा के बैठे थे। ये लोग एक बैकबोन है, एक रीज़न है कि आज मैं एक चैनल लेके खड़ा हूँ।
एक टाइम था जब मैं फाइनेंशियली और मेंटली बहुत डाउन हुआ था।
एक के पापा को कोविड हो गया, ज़्यादा ही सिम्टम्स थे तो वो पूरा प्रेशर में है। स्टॉर्म की एग्ज़ाम्स, पापा का बिजनेस, जितनी भी मतलब रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज़ थी वो उसको कैचअप कर रही है।
पढ़ने के लिए मेरे को घर से दूर इधर आना पड़ा। थोड़ा अकेला फील करता था, इंट्रोवर्ट था, इसलिए ज़्यादा दोस्त भी नहीं थे।
एक टाइम था जब हम दिन में 6 घंटे खेला करते थे और अब 6 महीने हो चुके हैं साथ में नहीं खेले।
अब टाइम नहीं मिल पाता, पहले पढ़ाई थी, अब जॉब है।
तो फिर सबके एग्ज़ाम्स आने लगे, सबका थोड़ा बिजी शेड्यूल होने लग गया, तो फिर सबने थोड़ा खेलना कम कर दिया।
मैं बहुत मिस करता हूँ उस टाइम को जब हम सभी लोग गेम साथ में खेलते थे। काश कोई उसी टाइम मेरे को बता देता कि फ्यूचर में मैं गेम नहीं खेल पाऊँगा, तो उसी टाइम में 3-4 गेम शायद और खेल लेता।
कभी मिलो आप लोग?
नहीं, हम एक्चुअली में चारों एक दूसरे को कभी नहीं मिले। प्लान बहुत बने मगर मिले कभी नहीं।
याद आती है?
बहुत ज़्यादा।
फाइनली गाइस, आई एम सुपर एक्साइटेड। सो आई कांट बिलीव कि मैं गुवाहाटी जा रहा हूँ।
इतने मीटिंग्स कैंसिल हो चुके हैं कि हम लोग हमेशा इसके बारे में बात करते हैं, भाई कब आ रहा है, इधर चलते हैं उधर चलते हैं साथ में।
सब अपने काम में बिजी रहते थे और कुछ ना कुछ फिर रहता था, इसलिए मिल नहीं पाए।
पर मिलना है, साथ में बैठ के गेम खेलना है।
भाई मेरे को तो उन लोगों से मिलना है। एक मीटअप तो बस कुछ भी हो करके रहना है।
मैं रियल लाइफ में भी देखना चाहता हूँ कि वैसा ही है या कुछ चेंज है उसमें।
सो अगर अब मिल जाते हैं ना तो मज्जा पड़ी जैसे।
भी जैसे रिसेंटली प्रीसर की शादी हुई है तो हम वहाँ जाने वाले थे, लेकिन हमारे एग्जाम्स आ गए थे तो मैं जा नहीं पाया।
79 years since our last war. I don't think it can go on much more. I can feel it. We can feel it. We got peacetime kleptocrats keeping score. Keep our heads down, let them get some more. We don't need it. Let them see.
एज अ फैमिली आप जैसे कोई चीज़ को हैंडल करते हो, हम बिल्कुल उसी तरह उस चीज़ को हैंडल करते हैं और उसके अंदर फिर ना कोई बैरियर आता है या फिर ना कोई ऐसी चीज़ें आती है जो हमें रोक सके। एज अ फैमिली, एज अ क्वांटम एंटेंगलमेंट हमारी बॉन्डिंग है, सब बोल सकते हैं। मैं तो हमेशा कहता हूँ लाइव फ्री फायर मैक्स गेम की तरह है। कभी आप जीतोगे, कभी नॉकडाउन भी हो जाओगे, पर हिम्मत मत हारिए, क्योंकि गेम की तरह जिंदगी में भी कोई आएगा, आपको रिवाइव करेगा और एक ना एक दिन आपका बुया हो ही जाएगा। तो फोन उठाओ, अपने दोस्तों से बात करो और गरीना फ्री फायर मैक्स खेलो।
They're making bad days and worse. Bad days and worse. Bad days and worse.
For years, we brought justice to our city. We made mistakes, fought amongst ourselves. Many of us fell along the way.
I almost admire your perseverance, Tyson. You and I could have been a great team.
You'll never put your hands on my research. This ends today.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to TEZ FFMIC India Cup 2025. The dust has not yet settled from yesterday's action, and we have Group B, who has got a little bit of experience of 6 maps. And now we are going to have Group C for the debut in league stages. This is me, Tanya. Alongside me, it is Azora. Hey, Azora, what are your expectations for the day?
See, here's the thing, Red. Like you rightly mentioned, Group C has not yet fought. But here's the thing that they have done better. They have witnessed, they have watched all 6 maps that Group B has already played. So in order to get the additional bit of information on how things need to go ahead and how the entire car needs to be very well oiled and greased with the tires to word go. And I'm hoping that teams are going to be all set from the likes of Group C. But Group B, like you rightly mentioned, they're having more experience towards the firepower. So the only way to defeat them is to have a perfect 1v1 initiation alongside the brain game and the brain tactics. So overall, today is going to be very important for Group C to go ahead and shine. Moreover, Group B also has a point or a chance for redemption. Specifically, if I talk about Team Hind, Team Insane Esports, alongside Silver Eagles, all 3 of them, they still have the chance. But there's one team I would like to highlight, that is Vashishta. They have a 50-50 chance of going ahead, either shining or yet again, they will have a sloppy day as yesterday.
Well, talking about yesterday, Group B were definitely steamrolled by Group A, and let's hope there's some different outcome today against Group C. But we'll also have a look upon how did the event progress so quickly towards league stages. It has been a very long journey all throughout. If you have a look at it, league stages have started just yesterday. Battle Royale mode, we are on week 1. It is day 2 for week 1, which is going to go from 22 to 24. Week 2, 29th to 31 August, and then comes week 3.
So it's many weeks, as we all can see, and alongside that, week 4 is going to be super important. But before that itself, we are going to witness something more and more concrete. So teams need to be all set. They need to have those mindsets of moving forward, and that's how you can reach towards the grand finals, either CS mode or BR mode. So that's going to happen on 27th and 28th of September. It's going to be super vital for teams to go ahead and perform in the upcoming days itself. So yeah, I'm super excited how things are forming. But talking about the tournament format, we are currently in week 1 itself, and we have already gone through all of the online qualifiers. Like we can see in front of our screens, total 48 teams, all the way from that to 36, and now towards the top 18 is what we are looking at.
Total 18 teams have already made their way towards league stages, which is even more tough. It's not any easy to come join in, all the way from 48 teams to 18 teams remaining. And talking about 18 teams, well, they are going to be battling up against each other in week 1 and week 2 of league stages, where top 12 teams are going to move in towards week 3, day 1. And now from here on week 3, top 2 teams are going to advance immediately towards grand finals, and continue to that in week 3, day 2. We are going to have the action on 7th September. Top 2 teams are again going to make a move on grand finals immediately. Talking about week 4, indeed, the same pattern is going to repeat, but on 14th of September, that is the last chance where top 6 teams are going to move in and create their space for grand finals, which is going to be massive. And dates that we have already mentioned are 27th and 28th.
Well, true. For that, teams need to go ahead and fight tooth and nail in order to reach towards platforms that they're going to go ahead and secure. But top 2 teams reaching from 6th, 7th, and 13th November are going to be so happy reaching towards the grand finals and not at all worrying about what's going to happen next. Moreover, 14th September will be a day of peer pressure. And in that, teams are either going to make it or they're going to be breaking down and they'll be out of the tournament. So either of the situations, the teams are going to learn a lot of valuable lessons, to which we can also understand how things are going to happen. So yeah, I'm super excited for the entire tournament to move forward. But this is the week 1 of league stage that we are currently at, and this is day 2. So it's super intense, super electrifying. And the better thing is about Group C, whether they're going to get the opportunity to go ahead and shine or they will be oppressed.
Absolutely correct. And you do not want to get oppressed. Well, how important it is to be consistent enough to rise up to top 8 teams, because these are the only teams who are going to get the opportunity to go ahead and play the Swiss stage of Clash Squad mode. We'll be having total of 8 teams, out of which each team fights against one another for one time, and it is going to be best of 3. From there, we are going to
True.
reduce the teams, and they are going to be left out with only 4 teams remaining. And then on day 2, we are going to have best of 5. So it's again going to be a very long journey.
That's true. And best of 5, why? Because we have to see those 4 teams who are going to go ahead and qualify till the finals as well in order to see the action being pulled up. So I'm super excited to see how well even the CS mode is going to function, because teams are slowly but surely reaching towards those stages. Tournament format for the CS, the grand finals, we all know it's going to be a best of 5, 4 total teams, all of them to be decided just yet, because 5 and 12, these are the 2 days that we can see all of this action being intensified. And at the very end, we're going to crown that one team as a champion.
Yeah, it is going to be very tough indeed, because they are getting sieved, and the best one are only going to be remaining until top 4. And the champion will not only take away the prize pool, but also the glory towards also the glory of the trophy. And let's also talk about the champion rush format for the Battle Royale. On the grand finals day, either there will be maximum of 10 games, or the teams to reach 80 points, that they are going to activate champion rush phase. And in that phase, the team who has reached 80 points, if they get booyah, they get the championship, they get the title, and there comes the end of grand finals. But it is very easy to speak up of. I believe we might get to see total of 10 games, because each and every one, when once you reach to the champion rush format, it's not about how good are we going to do, but it's about how bad are we going to make sure that the other teams who are having activated champion rush format.
Well, true, that is going to be the situation, but what are they fighting for? The entire prize pool, it's total of 1 crore rupees, where the Battle Royale has received 80 lakh, and on the other end, it is Clash Squad, which has received 20 lakh. It's some really good amount to which all of these teams are fighting for, and I just believe at this point of time, we have already received the best top 18 teams in India, from where slowly but surely we will reach towards the top 12 as well. So overall, I'm super excited, super pumped. Battle Royale has been one of the crucial places where teams are going ahead and performing really well. But talking about the entire prize pool segregation there, the champions are going to receive around 40 lakh INR. First runner-up, 15 lakh. Second runner-up, 7 lakh. From 4th place onwards to the 12th place, you will still receive some amount of money. But talking about the MVP, whoever receives it will get a clear ticket of 50,000 rupees.
Well, that is where my exact eyes will be, because that is an individual title that you're going to earn. And now you're going to earn a little bit extra with the participation in Clash Squad matches as well. And the prize pool is going to be 20 lakhs altogether. The champion is going to take away the massive chunk of 10 lakh INR, followed by first runner-up with 4 lakh INR, second runner-up with 2 lakh INR, so on and so forth. Everybody is going to take away a little bit of chunk of the total prize pool. So if you're even qualifying, you get some on your name.
That's right. And all of that, it's going to be super important for the teams as well to go ahead and function right. I mean, I get it. You get the money even at the 8th place, but overall, you need to start hitting your shots at the beginning itself. I mean, it would be so good that you're getting the champion title, and alongside you're getting 10 lakh rupees INR. But talking about the point system, this is how the entire functionality works. Elimination points, 1 point for each elimination. First position receiving the booyah will give you 12 total points. Second position, 9. And from there on, it slowly descends all towards 10th position. 11th and 12th, you get rewarded with no points at all. The tiebreaker rule, number of booyahs, total eliminations, and ranking in the final game. These are the following places where the teams are going to be segregated from being the champion to being the runner-up. So all of that, it's going to be super important. And the unique active skill, please shed some light here, Tanya.
Unique active skill is exactly what is required for the perfect team, and we have spotted a lot of changes happening yesterday, and Group A has done it so pretty well by bringing in some much required changes. Yesterday we spotted several characters which weren't used until now, so one player is allowed to take only one active skill, and others are going to compensate for whatever is required for the team, which brings in the best out of each and every team. So this active unique skill is not only for one effort or something, it is an entire team effort that is going to bring in towards the title, towards the victory, towards the booyah.
Well, true, and all of that is going to be super exciting. We could see it from day one itself, how they're functioning. And now, talking about the way all of these teams are going to be showcased, these are the listings: Group B alongside Group C. This day is going to be super important for Group C to go ahead and shine, as Group B already received that one golden opportunity to start things up. And now their engine is already too hot to go ahead and even steamroll things forward. So Reckoning, Vashishta, Team Insane, OnePlus God's Reign, Silver Eagle, Team Hind from Group B. And from Group C, we have Car98, S8UL, Team Tycoons, NG Pros, Autobots Esports, alongside Revenant, Xbox. So these 6 teams are going to be super reliant about the information about what happened yesterday. So let's see how good they can function today.
Well, Group C is all assaultive, but let's have a look about the teams which are already the faces we have seen yesterday. It is Group B. Team lineups are exactly what mentioned. Today we are going to see Team Hind, NG Silver Eagle, OnePlus God's Reign, Reckoning, Vashishta and Insane. And it is the day of redemption for not performing well yesterday. They have got 6 more maps, and let's hope they're going to bring in whatever that was left incomplete. And here comes the new faces joining in the league stages, which is Group C. We are going to have total of 6 teams from Group C as well. Car98 Army, SHL, Team Tycoons, NG Pros, Autobots Esports and Revenant Xpark. And if we talk about all these 6 teams together, they have been very confrontational team. And I believe, Azora, yesterday Group A did not allow B to take any good fights. I believe today same case of scenario might be repetitive for Group B.
Hey, you're forgetting Reckoning. Reckoning took really good fights. Similar thing goes for even OnePlus God's Reign. All of them played so good. And that's the reason Group C needs to fear them a lot. Team comparison, the head-to-head is looking pretty neat. NG Pros versus Reckoning Esports. Talking about the number of booyahs, 4 versus 2. And damage, it is looking really nice for NG Pros. I mean, talking about the way they initiated Kalahari with 30 plus bomber, that itself showcases that the amount of firepower that NG Pros have, it's non-stoppable. So let's just see how well they can go ahead and function today. Elimination point, of course, Reckoning have played 6 additional maps, and that's the reason you can see 137 eliminations, and placement points as well is slightly higher than NG Pros. So today is the time where NG Pros can go ahead and showcase what they're made up of. But talking about the players who are going head to head, of course, it's going to be KD God from the likes of RNTX versus Vota from the likes of Reckoning Esports.
Well, talking about head-to-head and also the booyahs that they have procured, it is all the data from online qualifiers where they were fighting against different lobbies, and now this time they're going to have a fight with different lobbies. Right now, talking about Reckoning Esports, Vota as well as KD God, they are going pretty head-to-head, except KD God is able to deliver a little bit of extra damages and comparatively more knocks as well. Assist, sure, a little less as compared to what Vota has delivered, and thus we are mentioning it head-to-head with the number of eliminations and team coordination and team support that they are providing with the number of assists. They have started it good in online qualifiers. Let's hope they are doing it even better during the league stages.
Well, true, and now comes the time for the Russian roulette. It is going to be Kalahari first, then Bermuda, Alpine, Purgatory, Nexterra, and then followed up by Solara. This is going to be super exciting on how teams are going to go ahead and function. Good maps coming first, and then later on, the curveballs to which the teams are going to plan about doing things differently is what I can say, as the difference maker is Team C, for sure, Group C. But how well can Group B also perform is the question, because we could see some some teams from Group B struggling yesterday, specifically Hind, Insane, and Silver Eagle. So let's just see how well they can go ahead and rectify those mistakes. But Reckoning, OnePlus God's Reign, alongside Vashishta, these were the three teams who were suppressing the firepower coming in from Group A. And this map schedule is just getting better and better.
And the teams to watch out for on the map of Kalahari, Revenant, X Park, they got one Booyah. And talking about the Booyah, one for NG Silver Eagle, one for SATUL, and NG Pro. Sure, they did not have the Booyah, but look at the number of elimination. And that is exactly where they are totally and entirely focusing on. NG Pros, a little bit of kill greedy team, which is worthy with whatever they are doing, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how many Booyahs did you procure. Are you in the top 3 of the team? Because right now in league stages, it is all about qualifying towards the next phase. Revenant X Park, yesterday, Revenant X Park, they were not spotted yesterday, but let's hope they are going to bring in the best of the challenges for the other teams, because they have done good during the online qualifier stages, and now with league stages, what more do they have in their pocket to bring in?
For sure, they have some really nice firepower alongside the amount of 1v1s that they keep bagging in is super insane. So let's see whether the performance is going to stay the same or not. But the preferred drop locations is one of the points which I would love to highlight. And this is the part where we can see how fights are going to be showcased, the kind of rotations that are going to be taken in the map of Kalahari. It's a lot of confrontations towards Shrines area, Council Hall, Confinement. These are the places where we can see so many teams coming forward. Stone Ridge as well, another spot for Revenant X Park versus Team Hind to go ahead and take and fight. Plus, the rotation factor is going to be looking super concrete, as most of the circles are in and around Refinery, Command Post, or Foundation. So let's see whether the patterns are going to fall the same, or the rotations are going to be tad bit different alongside the Circle Lords, where they're going to bless the opponents or bless the teams, or in fact snatch them away and take them towards the other corner of the map.
Well, usually I tend to see that who all are going to drop at the grounds of Refinery, but right now we only have K98 dropping in there. My eyes will all be upon Council Hall, because I want to see if Autobots is going to rush in towards Council Hall to deny the battle against Shrines, or are they going to share the grounds on the with SHL on Shrines and pick up early battle, because Shrines, Stone Ridge seems to be looking like that is exactly where we are going to spot first elimination. And Refinery, the dead center on the map of Kalahari, if at all Team K98 is able to hold in very strongly, they might be able to get the Booyah pretty conveniently, pretty easily, because having a good control is everything that matters by the end of the day.
But Santa Catrina could have been one of the places where I could actually spot some team coming in, but Confinement, fine. I completely understand that they're going to take a detour as well. Multiple teams are going to plan about drop clashing, but in the midst of all of that, there is going to be that one player who will try to get that one piece of the pie or a single elimination, and the others are waiting out there just to plug him back into the game. So these kind of shenanigans can be seen a lot coming forward in the map of Kalahari. As we all know, it's a favorite map for all of those snipers who are providing the support from long ranges, whether it be AC-80 or any other weapon, whether it be ARM as well. It's going to help a lot for teams to go ahead and get those initial points. Alongside C, the eliminations are going to matter a lot in this map specifically. So how many revivals are going to come in, how many times a team is going to get vanquished, let's just go ahead and see. But the prediction time is on, Tanya. Have you predicted yours?
Yes, definitely. I have. Reckoning Esports from Group B did commendably well yesterday, and Autobots and Nonstop have done very good on the maps of Kalahari. So that is exactly, I feel that they are going to have Booyah on the grounds of Kalahari. But I would like you to shed your light upon your selection as well.
NG Pro, similar reason. They're really good. SATUL, they have slowly started to understand the firepower whenever it comes to the fight in Kalahari, and they look pretty concrete. On the other end, OnePlus God's Reign, they were very close to going ahead and getting at least a really nice point. And the POV yesterday was completely shut down by Total Gaming. Today, Total Gaming is not there. So they have the window of opportunity to go ahead and do something that they could not do yesterday. So let's see whether they'll be able to do or not. But I really like like the opportunity that you have brought back into the picture of prediction, that is Autobots. Autobots are really, really volatile when it comes to the map of Kalahari. So I'm just hoping that they can be equally volatile and showcase us something much better. But for now, let's just directly dive into the first game of Day 2, Kalahari for you, ladies and gentlemen.
Sandy dunes, map of snipers, grapple gun, the perfect angles, and all the altitude inclusive. Sasuke Airlines is already on the skies of Kalahari, and let's see if the flight path is going to be supportive enough. Indeed, yes, it is. The spread outs are going to be pretty even. It is league stage week 1, day 2, group B and C, game number 1. Right now, if you have a look at the Stone Ridge, we have Revenant X Park there, not sharing the grounds with anyone, but look at command post. There's a little bit of commotion already happening. It is Team Hind who has switched their drop location, and now they're fighting up against Silver Eagles.
They knew Stone Ridge is not going to be their area. RNTX is always going to be there, but the knocks are coming through. Silver Eagles, yet again, it's not a good sight for them. Jar is already down, so goes Somi, and this is not good opportunity for them. Koda being utilized, and Karma, he's playing it to perfection. Couple of knocks, and he even knows the whereabouts about Ayush, and he's running for his dear life. Shots fired, but Karma, in the midst of all of that, he's been taken down. RNTX, there's one player on the top who's trying to go ahead and capitalize the situation, and this is it. This is that one place, command post, where you either make it or break down. Now, plugging back that one fallen comrade, Sid is going to bring back Karma, and that one player who's knocked, he needs an instant revival. Kar98, yet another fight on the other corner, and it's Ayush under the radar, the solo man who was trying to survive for so long. He's been taken out. What are the others going to do? Silver Eagles, last man standing, still trying to struggle their way through and get all of those 3 players back online.
K98 readying up themselves to pick up fight against Team Hind, and they do look all aggressive. They are ready to push in. The revival has been made, and look at the spread outs. It is 2:1. One player trying to create an exact angle of throwables. On the other hand, we are seeing the Russia being ready, and let's see if the Russia is directly going to push in, or are they going to wait in with the throwables first being involved. Are they aware about one player just behind them? Kar98 and KD God sharing the grounds, and yes, they are equally aware about their boats' existence. KD Gods so looks in a pretty bad position, and he will be taken down by Bot God. This is exactly what I was talking. Now we get to see Chrono Void one ways, and on the course, Kar98 Soul will get 1 elimination point on his name. 4 elimination points already, and look at Mac. He got one of the longest range shot on his name, which is 110 meters.
Oh my God. Sid saying so vigilant, knows that the player's going to pop in, but Bot God, he tried his level best, and there you go. He gets a couple of knocks as well. This is insane. Kar98, out of nowhere, they're racking up those points. And now is the time for them to go ahead and enjoy this entire place of command post. Binoculars being used in order to get the information, and unfortunately there's no one in the vicinity. But this is the place where the battle is going to get more intensified. Autobots, Mac very close to confrontation, and this might be it. Soel, for now, he's been taken down. Mac, close quarter fights. He's a sniper of the team, but he goes down as well. Sohan, he was just one player down. Reckoning, they're doing things in a much more better manner. And with this said, 4 eliminations is looking really good for them as well.
And Silver Eagles getting eliminated, they are being punished for switching their drop points all the way from Maze towards the command post, trying to pick up an early battle, which did not end up well. They had to bite the dust. And here we go with the other battle happening on the watchtower, where healings will be used for sure. Sahil trying to clear all the way possible with the cord gun that he's using, and blue walls will be deployed. Soul trying to go away. How far can he go on the course? He will be able to get down 2 players all together with a long range weapon. Now that was pretty surprising. Team support comes right in time with very low on HP. KD God will get eliminated, and heal drone will be deployed on the course. Again, there's an aggressive push coming in through wall for a while, but not for so long. He will be taken down by black.
The support is far away. RNTX at one player is falling down from the sky, but Kar98, they're on a really good rampage. And this team has come out of syllabus. My oh my. 10 total eliminations, sitting tall in the entire room. And the second highest is 4 points. This showcases the amount of firepower that Kar98 is bringing right upon every single tier 1 team. And this is insane. On the other end, we can see OnePlus God's Reign as well opening up, getting that one elimination. But this is not it. You need to keep racking up those points. They're right next to Council Hall. And I don't think so. They have much more opportunities there to go ahead and get another fight unless they reach all the way towards the midsection. Bayfront is one of the places where we can see a team holding up there, but the others are still trying to find a really nice footing. Struggle, he has the height advantage. He can take down Esituel single-handedly, as Corpse is also waiting. Anubhav, oh my god, this is a really nice spot. A Bermuda triangle, which is going to look very deadly when it comes to Esituel moving forward.
Now, there's something funny. Struggle has got the highest of position on the grounds of Refinery, but he's holding a Mag 7, a shotgun. How is he supposed to take a fight? But Team Insane also doing some pretty good job over here, having eyes on Team Insane. Yesterday's incomplete work is getting completed today. They got 1 point and they are continuing to push against that. No, they are taking a pause. They have got a mini launch pad and reroute themselves to a position where they can go up front and personal and get those elimination points on their name. And Vishal is on the rooftop and Karma will be spotted by RNS and he will be taken down. RN glue walls on both the sides. Jaguar using the flash freeze. No damage delivered as of now. Blue wall will be wasted out. There will be a reverse. There will be a retaliation attack. And here we go. Jaguar spotted and taken down. A perfect approach coming in. The launch pad used very nicely to go to not just hide away, but to face them and take them down for elimination points.
Couple of most lethal opportunities or characters is what I can say. Vishal, my oh my, Oscar alongside Tatsuya. This is going to be very insane whenever it comes to the close quarter fights. Hacker on the other end, he relies more on the informational based game. Alongside, he's a bomber as well. Alvaro is going to be very important towards a very close circles. But now talking about the way Team Insane is functioning, they're playing it slow, they're playing it steady, not like yesterday, like hotheads, they were heading towards the fight and then eventually they were fading away, perishing. But this time it's not going to be the case. Team Tycoons, height advantage, know the whereabouts of the opponents. And this fight is going to be super vital for TT as they are initiating things. They have 0 eliminations for now. And that's where they want to change things to a really nice section. Vishal has been taken down. The others successfully run away from the mini launch pad. And there's where Gopu is rushing forward. He knows that this is the golden opportunity. Might as well go ahead and seize yet another knock.
Gopu, he's surviving in the open grounds, open deserts of Kalahari, and the timing for Team Insane using the launch pad is just about right, just about perfect. They know exactly when to evacuate the exact location that they were contesting for way too long. Again, Amin is going to have the height advantage over here. Blue walls will be deployed on both the ends, and here comes the rush, and there's no way this fuel should be survived, but here comes Hacker with the throwable that you already mentioned. It was just about right. Alvaro being equipped, and 2 close range shotguns. Revival should be able to take in time. Yes, they are back. He's back on time. Salu and Gopu, now it's time to go a U-turn. Salu very low on HP, gets an elimination confirmed. Hacker is rushing against Amin. It's 1v2 for Amin. How long will he survive that? Hitman is taking too long to get that support. And Hitman has got an angle, has got a position. He should be able to deliver a right amount of damage. And he does. He does. RNS is down on his knees. And look at the
information
again.
The information base is so good. Hacker, close quarter, M590 in hand. Those shots are going to hit and it's stinging Hitman. Hitman not able to function, not able to think right. And with that said, he's been eliminated as well. There was a vending machine and I think that they are still surviving by the skin of their teeth. Team Tycoons, couple of players still alive and they're into the game. But talking about this one confrontation, SAQL versus Car 98. Car 98, one side, they're looking like mammoths, absolutely shredding their enemies into bits and pieces. And at the same place, SAQL still trying to find a solid footing where Struggle is evacuating that spot in order to get a better angle. What? Wait a second. Divine, he knows the whereabout. the shots are going to be buzzing anytime sooner. And Harsh on the other end, he's also closing in the gap in order to understand how many players are there from the likes of SCTUL towards this specific height.
The tower control is good until and unless the circle is supporting them. And look at Revenant, KD God. Whoa, they are up against Team SHL. 2 players already down on the knees. The angle that they were trying to take down 1 player of the tower. They've lost 2 on the way, and now they're not going to stop. And this is the exact time where Struggle is also going to initiate some battle through the towers, delivering a lot of swivels and long range weapons used. And a knock as well. Confirmation is way too more than he can expect, because Revival will come in handy. It is a 4v2 situation on the same ground. Altitude advantage by Struggle has delayed the fight and also given the opportunity to SHL to just evacuate the position, just in case if Struggle would have watched the drama of 2 teams fighting up against each other, there would surely have been a team elimination. Struggle was blessing in disguise for Team SHL.
Oh yes, for sure. But here's the place where Struggle needs to not fall. If he falls, then he's done for. All of that height advantage, all of the control towards the tower, it's going to be gone. Plus the bird's eye view against 2 different teams is important. Dinoculus being utilized, getting the information that where the players are going to be is super vital. And he has received all of them in 4K. Team Insane on the other end, 9 total eliminations, something that we could not see in the previous day. Today they have changed the entire course of action, and I'm loving to see a different kind of Team Insane. It's against Autobots. What can this fight lead to? The height at one side, Autobots, they're having the entire control. Team Insane, they are no strangers to the situation. And I believe this is going to be a really nice position to capitalize.
Near to the containers, on the platform, all the glue walls deployed, all under control. Upper grounds being contested by Autobots. 2:2 will be the division ratio. Same goes for Team Insane, except now there is a decision coming in from Team Insane. They're going to climb up to the towers. Only 2 teams have been eliminated, and the lost players of K98 will also be revived. Autobots with only 1 elimination point, and Zone is also shrinking in. But before that, Non-Stop Gamers are gatekeeping Revenant X-Spark right on the position, right on the height advantage, and that is all the advantage they have been using right off the bat.
Whoa.
Only 3 elimination points on their name and 1 knock as well. Will there be a confirmation? Indeed, yes. Height advantage used wisely, and he has got more opportunity to gatekeep 2 of the more players. And Arsh struggling to just enter the zone, taken down by Zone Team SHUL. That was something out of expectations.
Well, they should have rotated, but I don't think so. They had the opportunity to do that. So many teams gatekeeping them. And this is the kind of opportunity that even Car98 wanted. But look at the way NG are playing. They have so less elimination, but still they're the ones who are the upper edge, trying to gatekeep the opponents, get the advantage. And now, I don't think so, RNTX, they have the golden opportunity to do something better. Lovely knocks can come through, and the moment they got the height advantage, RNTX, they've been forced to go down. And NG, right about now, they can have so much information against 2 teams yet again.
They have to move in, they have to pave their way towards the circle, and they also have the room of opportunity where they can gatekeep Team Tycoons. Will there be a room of expectations? But no, there's always going to be a plan B for Non-Stop Gamers. They're going to land up from the different angle from what the opponents are imagining. Non-Stop Gaming are just pushing their way through, and the right execution. They bulldoze Revenant X-Spark. By the way, the advantage should have been for Revenant X-Spark, but it did not work that way. Non-Stop Gamers are doing pretty clean for themselves, but as soon as I say that, here comes Team Tycoons. Retaliation comes into action, and also it's going to be an elimination point, trying to reunite with his teammates, but they have to go outside the zone. They have got multiple teams. Okay, they are in safe zone for now. Everybody within the circle, and the center of the circle holds is held strong by Team God's Reign, and Team Tycoons will also be eliminated, and Team Non-Stop Gamers have got a lot of blood on their hand, lot of team eliminations.
True that. The entire wing was contested. The southern side fortified, and with that said, Autobots, they've been eliminated as well. This fight is looking really good. NG Pros, they're doing every single thing right from their corner. Here's a place where the cluster is forming into a really big section. 6 total teams, one having their own ground. Car 98, they're also struggling not to enter towards the circle, but it's God's Reign who are in the dead center, smack center, to which they can watch every single action happening right in front of them. So, Reckoning, what can they do as they're the ones who are going to contest this entire area towards the northern side?
Right now, all they can think upon is not tank up the zone damage. Car 98 army will be eliminated again. Now we have got very less teams. Height advantage no more. It is all about zone damages. And again, Team Insane Esports is also eliminated. And again, the team eliminators are going to be none other than Team Non-Stop Gaming. The best compound is held strong by 1+ God's Reign and a good angle as well. But for how long can they hold on to? Here comes a Predator holding the compound, and it is a 3 versus 4 situation. Rush coming in, flash freezes will be deployed, will be used, and the compound, once held strong, is no more there. Now they are in open. All the throwables being deployed against each other, and no more glue walls. Melters will also be introduced here. 3 players stay remaining intact on the upper grounds of the same compound.
3v3v3, and there's just one player coming in from Vashishta who's just gonna stand afar and watch the entire show. This is insane coming in from NG Pros. What a lovely game. Got the height advantage. Now they can have the bird's eye view against Reckoning as well. Isolating and oppressing 1+ God's Reign was very vital in order to get this compound, and they did it. So far, so good. Reckoning on the other end. Very little experience when it comes to those eliminations, but here you go. The information is revealed, and he's very close to his demise. This is that one point that Reckoning needs a lot. Plus, the advantage is already there to enter towards the circle in the top 3 section itself gives them some amount of points. Roneth still trying to expose the last man standing, and he's the bomber. He can use Alvaro, flush the opponent out, that is, and then later on get that elimination point. But here's the thing, they're not at all going ahead and forcing things upon him. They're taking it slow, understanding that it's their circle and they're the one who can go ahead and get something much more better. But God's Reign, they have been eliminated in the midst of all of that as Corpse. The way he entirely shunned the opponents was very vital. The height is there for the likes of NG Pros, and this might be the game changer.
We have only 3 teams remaining now. It is a 3v2v1 situation where the numbers advantage goes in the hands of Team Reckoning Esports, and Reckoning's Vota is very close. It is a 1v2 for Vota right now. Will he be able to execute? A team support will come right on time, and there's a dash hopping in. Cropsy with very low on HP. He's still picking up the fight, and it's a U-turn again. Vota is still surviving, and the team support is all gone. Vota is decimated as well. This is a clean play coming in. They made sure to evacuate 1+ God's Reign, and now they're also taking down Reckoning Esports down. It is 2:1. Now everything lies in the hands of Team Non-Stop Gaming. Will they be able to pull 1:2 situation coming in from the side of Reckoning Esports as well as Vashishta Esports? Because right now Non-Stop Gamers are unstoppable in all the way they are playing.
Oh my god, Ninja, the support should have come in. Reckoning, one big mistake. They were gatekeeping and that one point costed them a lot. Ninja still trying to struggle. Now he needs to enter towards the circle. Similar thing goes for as well. And he's taking things very slow. Has just one glue wall, deploys it, and now he's just going ahead and healing himself. He needs that HP. He needs to take the fight. Vashishta down with one man. Ninja solo of HP. What a lovely shot coming in. And this is the kind of confrontation that we wanted to see. He tried his level best, but it is going to be NG Pros who go ahead and take this booyah for their name.
NG Pros taking control over the tower, controlling the refinery. Not so good zone protection, yet they made all the zone that they entered theirs, because they made sure to eliminate all the teams coming their way. If you talk about the refinery area, they did not allow any team entering even close to their vicinity. Then comes the last circle where strongly Team 1+ God's Reign was holding it. They made sure to push them out and hold it strongly. Reckoning Esports was the last team that could have taken down, because they they had the numbers advantage. And that is exactly where I want to see the last shot about how did it end up so easily for non-stop gaming.
NG Pros, they are professional when it comes to Kalahari. Lovely display of action. Every single time that we could see the confrontations are coming in, they were taking those fights. They gate kept single-handedly 4 teams when it comes to the Southern Circle. So overall, this team is jam-packed with such pros, and I love the fights coming in. My oh my, reckoning they're going to be kicking the bucket, thinking that one mistake has costed them the entire booyah. Why gatekeep that one player from Vashishta? You know, why would he do that? Ninja, if he had banded together with a couple of players as well, it would have been a different situation altogether. And whenever you give those 1v1s, NG Pros are gonna eat you, because that's what they have been doing since so long. They have such a strong game. They have so many eliminations to themselves, and it's not because they had some kind of a luck. No, they gate kept so many teams, and that's one of the things that needed to be understood from the likes of Reckoning, and that's where they fell short. Overall, a really good game coming in, but the final shot is what I would love to see yet again, and just enjoy it with some nice silence. But please carry on, Tanya.
And here we go. You know, who was supposed to be taken down by 3 men standing from Reckoning Esports. He will shut down Reckoning Esports. And then comes a situation where he was holding onto the monster truck and he could have survived no more. Cropsy gives the final blow and honors the flag of his own team by grabbing that booyah. 34 massive points, and that was so coordinated. I mean, look at it. It is just the start of the day, and they've already made sure to gain such sort of points. Team Insane finally buckling up. They are on a mission which they left incomplete yesterday. They are completing it today. Talking about Car 98 Army and Reckoning Esports. Reckoning Esports did stumble down a little. Maybe there was a little lack of communication there, whether they want to all fight up against non-stop gamers, or they want to make sure they NG Pros, or they want to make sure that they want to fall back and take that one player down, and that is exactly where the ball bounced for them.
Well, the stars were definitely aligned. We could see a 30-plus bomber coming in the online qualifiers as well from the likes of NG Pros. And these are the players who are lighting that fire of redemption every single time. 10 total elimination. Corpse, what a lovely game. Damage of over 3.4k. This is insane. Equipping Tatsuya being his primary character, moreover going all the way towards Alvaro, getting the information, Denoculus being utilized, and AC-80 is just a cherry on the cake. So Corpse, what a lovely game coming in from his end. And I know for a fact that it's not only him, it's the entire combined team support that we can see right about now.
Struggle using the Chrono, and then comes Manu with a Skylar. It's a total of 3 aggressive play styles coming in from Skylar, Tatsuya, and Oscar, Anubhav, Cropsy, and Manu. Talking about Struggle, Chrono, definitely a defensive play style. Thiva being used to revive Joseph as well, and Ford for late rotation, or maybe if the team collapses, he gets the room of opportunity to revive on the longer run. Apart from that, if we have a look at Anubhav, he's using Antonio, Thiva, and Ford again. So here comes aggressive play style, yet a little defensive. So Anubhav is using the mixed play style, and Cropsy, Tatsuya, the rush, and everything that he did was exactly perfect, just required, and it looked very well orchestrated from his part, with a total of 10 elimination on his name, 6 coming in from Anubhav and 6 coming in from Struggle. Manu, it's okay, you took no elimination, but the support that you gave was commendable as well, with all the character abilities that you gave.
Absolutely, and this is the kind of gangster vibes that I'm getting from this entire team, NG Pros. My oh my, this is insane. 4k damage. Jeepers creepers. Struggle for sure has given his all in the first map, and this is just the beginning. The first map itself is a banger for the likes of NG Pros. And talking about the game summary, total eliminations being a sweet digit of 69, total knocks 88, total damage of 47k, and longest elimination distance, I completely understand. It was a very confrontational game, so 110, not much there to look at. But total glue walls compared to yesterday is singing a different story here. 139. Okay, what happened to the glue walls?
Well, it was all about fight, I believe. All they wanted to do was just pick up fight, and rotations just came in handy. And this 110-meter long distance, which we already covered on the grounds of command post, and it was very clean. The snipers are doing the work
Yes.
for yesterday. Let's talk. Let's compare to yesterday to today. We are not
Hmm.
missing total gaming anymore. We are not missing
Not at all.
godlike anymore. It's like
Not at all.
non-stop gaming. NG pros have made sure to fill in all the gaps of group A right now, and they are doing the best that they can. And 34
Hmm.
total points right off the start, right off the very first map of the day. If this is the start that they are bringing in, they have got a lot of magic tricks in their hat.
Well, true that, but here's the thing, right? Whenever you get a booyah, no matter what team it is, you always have that bullseye on your back, and I know for a fact that the back is gonna break in the next following map itself. So I'm wishing them all the very best, and they can carry forward the kind of aggression that they already showcased in the map of Kalahari as a next one, as well as a vanilla map. And we all have seen the kind of commotion that they can create even in that one. So the other teams, Team Hin, Team Insane Esports, we could see something really good coming in from there. And like you
Yeah.
rightly mentioned, what we could not see yesterday, we are seeing it today. And that's what we need to see, right? The kind of changes that they have made yesterday. Yes, they played very oppressed, and now finally they're opening up and they're showcasing that they're also one of the teams who are to be feared. Upcoming will be Bermuda, and Bermuda is one of the places where I've seen all of these teams going ahead and playing the perfect bits and pieces. Team Hind can somehow bring in a comeback in this following map, but it needs to be sooner, not later. Not in Solara, not in Nexterra, but in Bermuda, Alpine, and Purgatory. In order to be towards the top six, in order to go ahead and compete with Group A, is going to be super vital. Group C, they have miles to go before their sleep. It's just their starting six maps, but Group B, this is going to be their eighth map to be precise.
What a start. What a start of the day too. And let's also talk about, if the map is Bermuda, which are the teams to watch out for, which are those teams who
Yes.
have procured the best of the booyahs for themselves. And let's have a look on them. Well, NG Pros having a booyah already on their name, and Reckoning Esports as well. These two are spotted in top three, and
That's a
let's
lot
see
of
if they are
damage.
going to compete against each other again. Revenant X Spark, sure not a booyah, but total 18 placement points and 27 elimination, and versus the Esports 23 eliminations and 17 placement points. But if we have a look at the overall damage, NG Pros are the leaders here.
Are the leaders. My oh my, the kind of damage they're showcasing right here, 23,368 is massive. But let's just talk about where they're going to plan to land this time around. Peak being one of the places where we can see three teams heading towards. This might change. This is just the data that we could gather from the online phases, and from there on, teams have for sure understood which is going to be the right spot to enter and the right spot for Mayhem. Mars Electric is one of the places where teams can plan to head towards Pochinok as well. Factory being very close, and all of these places all together. Peak being one of the prime spots where even the zip lines are leading you towards. Bhima Shakti Strip can be one of the places where the rotations can be seen. We can see Non-Stop Pros heading towards Observatory, and Shipyard is couple of sections away where I can see Silver Eagles and Team Insane. Let's see how good of a fight they can show.
Well, yesterday, Team Reckoning Esports did pretty clean on the grounds of Peak, but today they have got two more teams who would want to contest the same area. So I believe Peak is going to be one of the most heated spot right off the bat. Rimnam Village and Sentosa Island, these are the two places where OnePlus God's Reign as well as Revenant X Park are looking forward for the safe approach, and they want to make sure they survive, procuring the
Indeed.
best amount of loots possible, and then they predict the zone and then they enter the circle. So they are looking forward for
Exactly.
the slower approach, but Peak shows an entirely different set of stories. Three teams landing right about at the same spot, and only one can contest that area, which is going to be, because for talking about Reckoning, we witnessed it yesterday. They did a clean job. Now we have got two different names aligning with them, and let's see if it is going to be the continued story. If the ink is still wet, is the story going to be same or no?
Well, like you mentioned, right? Three teams, max center. There's always going to be a 3:1 split coming in from there, and one player waiting all the way out all the way down towards the southern side, just not having a single
Yeah.
confrontation. But I believe it's about time that I can have a confrontation with you as well in regards with your prediction. So, Tanya, have you locked it? Because I myself have Reckoning. There have been some really nice, good opportunities for them. Autobots, of course. I remember there was this one tournament where Autobots won in this specific map itself. So let's see whether the entire history is going to showcase the same or not. But One plus God's Reign is a similar pick between both of us.
Well, in the previous game, it was God's Reign. It was non-stop NG Pros, and they made sure to take away the Booyah. And let's see if it is going to be same for One Plus God's Reign. My choices are going to be very clean: Revenant X Park, SHUL. And talking about Revenant X Park, they're going for the safe approach, slow approach. So let's see if that slow approach is going to end up with the Booyah on their name. And talking about SHUL, they're landing on the grounds of Peak. They might get early elimination, or they might get early elimination points, because I can't wait to watch that action, ladies and gentlemen. I and Azora are totally set with the flight path coming right across us as soon as possible on the skies of Bermuda, which is very, very beautiful. And this is Bimasaki Strip, the highway towards each and every perfect drop spot and locations.
Susano dropping every single player to their following destination. Teams heading all the way across, and I love the dissection. It's from southwest towards northeast. So Mill being the last stop can provide teams the operational effort towards it. And I'm believing that the kind of information that we saw towards Peak, it is going to be true, as 3 teams are already landing there. Oh, it's 4. Jaguar being one of them from Team Hind. He's very close, and the others are up for confrontation. And the first circle itself, it's heavily oriented towards the southern side and the mid of this entire map.
Well, Autobots have already started throwing bullets against Team Reckoning Esports. Let's see how is it going to happen when the interiors of the Peak area is going to be in the hands of Autobots and the exteriors for Team Reckoning Esports. They both have got the loots, and obviously Peak has got an ample amount of loot. You can have the best choice for the weapons. And here we go. Mayank is ready. Use the blue wall, and Reckoning is trying to just push and barge into the grounds of the Peak, which they made their home ground yesterday. Is it going to be the same today? So Hill is down on the knees, and so is Soham, and Autobots are making sure to get those elimination points secured. And here we go. Reckoning Esports wiped out of the servers in the blink of an eye in their very own home ground. That was last of the thoughts I had in my eyes. Autobots now facing something same, that they delivered it to another team. Last man standing, winning machine nearby. Is he going to go ahead and revive his teammate? Is he going to get the opportunity to do so? Revenant X Park not going for the safer approach on the grounds of Peak right now. Autobots just a bit away, not looking forward to revive within the Peak area. It is silence before the storm. Only one team has got eliminated yet, and Sahil, he's got the information of Jaguar, and here comes a fight. Jaguar spotted, taken down.
Another elimination before that. Hopscotch is coming in. My goodness. Way to tease the opponent. 11 teams, one we could see unfortunately could not make the cut. And I know for a fact that Reckoning, the amount of advantage that they create off the bat, the heights that they already touch, is already long gone. And Peak is one of the places that I could see so much action coming in. And later on, it's all silence. It's stillness in the air. It's about the loose simulation. They want those weapons. And it is important. Now, to have a really good game, you need to have your desired weapons. And that's how you can go ahead and captivate those moments. Team Insane looking 3 eliminations strong, and it's very different from what we could see yesterday. They were so oppressed, and today they're playing so good, and I love the kind of confidence that they're showcasing as well. Autobots on the other end, they have finally chosen to bring back that one fallen comrade, and the others are still yet to come. So points are going to be very important for them. Tokens are going to be vital, to bring back the entirety of the team. But Vashishta, he did not know.
Well, have a look at Cape Town. Highly contested two teams. Team Tycoon and Vashishta Esports up against each other. There are multiple compounds to get the control against each other, or maybe not getting into any elimination or fights or whatever. But right now, Vashishta Esports have lost, and look at Throwables trying to get into the action. No, it's not Throwables now. It is going to be. He's yet to decide whether he wants to use a throwable or no. And finally, he will use the glue wall melter. Glue walls was not used. Paktu will be taken down. Tiger and Swaroop will only be two players surviving as of now. Tiger has got the perfect information. With that information, he's going to take down Flash and will also eliminate.
That's what happens when you don't have any information about where the opponents are. Half-cooked information is always bad. Skylar ability being utilized. Tiger still having the height advantage. Team Tycoons, they're struggling to go ahead and get more elimination points. And finally, Flash is back into the picture, falling from the sky. It might be that one bird who gets his wings clipped. Tiger is still waiting for the golden opportunity. Organ hand, shots fired, and it's Hitman who's facing the brunt force approach coming in. My oh my, Vashishta, they're bringing in the heat. Even though they're like a couple of players surviving, the kahunas that this person has, Tiger, he's just doing every single thing. Due diligence on point, and he's been called back in. Patlu, last man standing, who needs to be called back. And that's the golden opportunity that the team is waiting for. Confrontations right in front, Rokon in hand. And there comes the time turner. Tiger, he needs to get at least a knock or two, but unfortunately he falls down. But the work is done. Swaroop had to run away from there, untethered, and that's what happened. Vashishta, they still have their hopes high in order to survive in this map.
The Cape Town will be evacuated because the zone wouldn't support it, and they are using the vehicles towards the vending machine to bring back Hitman as soon as possible. Hitman will be called back, and then they are going to enter the circle. If you have overall elimination standings, if you have a look at the overall elimination standings, it is going to be Autobots with 5 eliminations, and Patlu taking a land. Licky is going to not have a look at it. Instead, he is busy. No, he did. He had all the required information, but there's no way. There's no way he can get that elimination. He wouldn't want to go for it.
I hope that they're going for it. SAUL, they're banded together, and Marvel is right in front. He's right close. And that's where I believe that even the teams are planning to just band together, move forward, as Team Tycoons are right in front. But that was really nice. Patlu is just going ahead on his Pegasus, trying to reach down slow and steady. And now's the time where the action is going to get intensified. The car blows up, and SAUL, they're off. They need to take this fight. It's forced upon them. And Amino right in front. What can he do? Graffiti being utilized as no nades or anything can affect them in that vicinity. Arsh, Marvel, couple of players surviving for the grace of SAUL.
SHUL did not have to lock these horns right away. They had to make sure they entered the circle. They took a U-turn and they lost 2 players. It was a squad strong team. They do have tokens to get the teams revived, and well, as soon as I talk about it, we have a switch. We have the titans of this lobby, NG pros, all stuck inside one compound. 3 throwables is everything that they need to get the elimination. Is it going to be so easy though? Silver Rung Eagles right across the corner, and it's going to be a cemented strong compound in the hands of Team Car 98. Play of patience. 3 teams not looking forward to force lock horns against each other. They want to make sure they survive until the end. It's just 8 minutes down. Launch pads will be used, and they're going to relocate themselves. This is one of the smartest move.
Well, true, but here's another thing, right? Imagine you're in the middle of a couple of teams fighting third party, and you get those elimination points as well. Could have been a good opportunity for Car 98 to go ahead and open their accounts, as it's still locking on 0. And Marvel, he's been taken down. Sallu, my oh my, eyes everywhere, getting the information. And Team Insane, 7 eliminations strong. They're the highest in the room for now. Shots fired yet again. Hitman in the crosshair. But all of those shots are going to fade away as the team successfully runs away from harm's way.
Team Tycoons using the launch pad right about right and in the location where Vishal couldn't clip anybody's wings. The bird shots that he was trying to look forward to has been denied. Zone is also shrinking in, and Mars Electric is the area where the fight has already initiated. It is going to be 1 plus God Reigns against Revenant takes Spark. Unshoot down. Predator down. Treatment guns will be used. Manish has realized the threat is real. He's trying to fall back, but doesn't. He wants to show some support to his teammates. Anshu will be revived right on time, and here comes Black, who is down on the knees. Plasma will be used by Manish, and the push that was unstoppable. It is all down to Anshu, and it is a decimation of Team 1 plus God's Reign. And this is sort of a fight which barely takes 30 seconds. Both of them not going for the split.
A confrontation which is going to cost a lot. SETUL yet again stuck in the crosshairs of NG Pros. And NG Pros, they've had a really good previous game, and now they're just continuing forward the similar kind of momentum. Silver Eagles right in front. And I believe the Dinoculus is going to give them additional bit of information. Struggle. He is a support, and he has the AC-80 in his hand. We all know this weapon has been buffed recently, which means more wrath on the opponent. Somi on the other end, he's also trying to figure out what can be done. Sid, he is also bringing in the heat for the likes of Kar98, and he has taken down one player from the likes of Ashishta. Team Tycoons, they're also stuck in this crosshair. It's a three-way Mexican standoff where Vashishta, they're still trying to find the perfect angle to which they can respond to Team Tycoons.
And the response come pretty strong. Swaroop will be able to take down one, and Team Tycoons will be eliminated in no time. For elimination. The patience paid off. They did not push out. They made sure Team Tycoons to make the mistake, and Vashishta will survive within top 9 of the lobby. They are within the circle. They've got the compound on their name. And sure, they're not in the dead center of the circle because dead center belongs to Team Kar98. And they have got the compound on their name too. Not the compound, sure, but they've got the tower on the name. Look at Team Insane. How are they going to enter with the watchtower? With the tower having a perfect altitude required to keep an eye, to gatekeep on them. If they have launch pad, they
Launch
can.
pads.
They have the...
Oh, they are? Oh, no, this is bad. This is very bad. Oh, my God. I know Soul is right there around the corner, and RNS, he's planning to head all the way under the bridge. And I get it, they have the circle advantage, but it's not going to be there for a longer time. Hacker, Vishal, Sallu, and RNS, all four of them alive so far. And it's all thanks to Kar98. They did not go aggressive. They knew when the time comes, they're going to be forced upon, and they will head all the way towards the circle, but they're waiting just for the time.
When is the right time going to approach for them? Because still it is just 12 minutes. Look at Arsh all the way on the other side, not within the circle. What are his plans? We'll get to know real soon. Team Hind also trying to make a move towards the circle, but right now NG Pros are pushing up against a team, and that team is going to be Lexo, Somi. They have got a good hold on the compound, but compound doesn't get counted, right? When NG Pros comes into the action.
Licky. Look at him sneaking around the corner. He thinks that he is safe. I'm glad he doesn't have a sniper rifle, else his information will be revealed. It's just a P90 in his hand. And close quarter, it's a beast. Far off, it's not going to help that much. But these shots are looking so crystal clear. Non-stop, Team Hind, Silver Eagle, all three going in for the confrontation, and Vashishta, they're watching this fight from far off. And if this happens, then they can go ahead and have that golden opportunity of snatching few elimination points. And I believe that's what they're waiting for. Autobots, look at them rushing down in the throats of the opponents, and SETUL, they have been eliminated. Not a good sight for them at all. But wait a second, KD God, he's taking matters in his own hands, and he's the one who's shutting down the opponents left, back, and center.
Talking about center, it's going to be Vashishta Esports also using the launch pads and trying to get some free kills if possible. If there's somebody knocked down, they might get those free kills, but before that, they will have to pick up the battle. They will have to take the duels. Patlu down on the knees, revival will come in handy, and here goes. Otho will be equipped immediately, and there comes a push, an aggression where two players are down on the knees, and Vashishta Esports are going to take down Car 98 Army now today.
Oh
Everything
my
that is
God.
happening. The battles are ending with a blink of an eye. There's no revival. There's no chance of survival. There's no way that they are going to be called back. It is all the end for the team.
Oh no. Team Hind, they have been eliminated as well. Back to back. Bad news coming in from their corner. Vashishta, for now, they're looking concrete, but he's the first one to fall. The team needs to go ahead and get those confrontations right on point. Shots are fired and Gloom Melters being deployed as well. He needed that quick revive and he received that as well. Patlu on the other end, he's trying to aggress forward, but the team is taking an entire U-turn. They're taking things very slow. And NG Pros, they're under the radar. Swaroop taking all of those shots, and NG Pros, they have been gate kept. This is what Vashishta was bringing on board. And yes, the revenge has been served very cold. 4 teams in front of us, to which Autobots is just having 3 of them, and the others are looking very healthy.
Absolutely, they do. Everybody's playing edge to edge. Nobody wants to go into the dead center and be the center of attraction and get eliminated. Revenant X-Park having the upper ground advantage. They have an opportunity to go ahead and use the throwables against Team Vashishta Esports. Are they going to? Will be the question, because for now, KD God has been spotted and Salu will be eliminated by Revenant X-Park. Sahel Monster Truck is the only cover they are left with. There's not much of a cover here, but talking about Vashishta Esports, the edge of the bridge is everything that they needed right on time.
This is so claustrophobic. Plus the kind of support that the bridge is giving Vashishta, it's God sent. As Team Insane, they need to come out right about now. And look at that nade being pounced upon Vishal. He's been taken down, blown into bits and pieces. That support, it's not going to be ringing so soon. Team Insane, they're struggling. They're packed in that corner. And RNTX, they're rushing forward. With that said, the entire team of Team Insane has been eliminated. The one player Black who's fallen down, he's going to be revived as well. But before that, let's just go ahead and heal ourselves first.
Look at Revenant X-Park. 20 elimination points already and a squad strong team. This is going to be one of the biggest booyah by far during the league stages. Vashishta. And here comes the end for Vashishta Esports. They are taken down finally. They have been doing pretty clean. Right now, it is Autobots against Revenant X-Park. Blue walls deployed on both the ends. Flash freeze is used, and KC will be introduced as well. And the therapies did not work wonder. Black is down on the knees. It is all about Sahil with a shotgun. Is he going to deliver that much needed blow against Mysterious? And he does. Wolverine will be the last man standing.
Wolverine still alive, mysteriously alive right here. In the nick of the time, he has provided the support for RNTX. They played one thing better, that is reviving a fallen comrade, and Mysterious now he has to go for a 1v2, which is not going to be so possible. And RNTX, what a lovely way to finish this one and get the booyah. It's a lovely, lovely big game coming from their end.
Revenant X-Park, all the way from start until the end, they made sure of not going any passive. They did not go Sentosa. They made sure to pick up the fights on the grounds of peak, and they started off right on the peak until the final circle, where bridge was not for them. Just the monster truck and all the firepower worked just wonders, and my prediction went right. That is something that I'm too happy about right now. but Wolverine, Black, KD, God, Sahil, a type of support that any team would want. The revival in the blink of an eye. And talking about Bermuda, this did not look like Bermuda at all. It was more or less Nexterra, Alpine, because the teams were getting decimated. Nobody got an opportunity to get revived.
Well, true, but talking about the final shot, I'm just eager to see, and congratulations on getting this one. I completely understand RNTX was like out of the syllabus, but what a game! What a way to go ahead and give that revival for that one fallen comrade, and from there on, Mysterious, that 1v2 was impossible to go ahead and clutch. Oh my god. The action was insane, and I believe that this has gone the mile. It has broken the record of the previous game, and previously NG Pros got around like 34 points. This might be more than that. The way they performed, my oh my, it's just massive and insane.
And that is exactly what action we want to see, which we are greedy about, and which every audience is extremely excited to watch out for.
Yeah.
All the fans for Revenant X Park might be cheering aloud, because this sort of a booyah comes very rarely, and that was the moment. They created this moment, and I mean, see, it's not about the team that you're supporting. It's always the best of action that comes in. Taking a booyah is one thing, but then taking away the booyah in this pattern is entirely different set of scenario.
Well, true. Let's just see how the action was going ahead. Game number 2 standings right in front, and Bermuda is speaking volumes about how Revenant X Park has bagged 38 total points, 26 with eliminations, 12 with placements. Just 2 more shy. It would have been a 40 bomber. But overall, what a lovely game. Autobots coming in with 17 total points. And Vashishta, they're slowly rising. And I love to see this. 16 points from there. And Team Insane, they are consistent in bringing those total points. NG Pros, they have fallen shy. But that first game itself was a huge one for them. So overall, they're also bagging into a really nice corner. Silver Eagles, somehow they've reached towards double digits, and that's where I want to see the improvement is out there. Reckoning Esports, they did not get the opportunity to even bag a single point. God's Reign with just 1 point, SQL with 2, Car 98 Army 3 points, and Teen Tycoons with 6. Hind following with 7.
And Reckoning Esports goes empty-handed. 1 plus God's Reign, 1 point. Team SHL, they need to make sure they buckle up. I believe the settling maps, first 2 maps for settling is all over. They bring in the best of action. In the previous set of map as well, they were spotted in the bottom half of the leaderboard. Yet again, that is a repetitive pattern, and Vashishta definitely bringing in the best of the battles. Let's have a look at that overall leaderboard to bring us the better and a clear picture. Revenant X Park and NG Pros, they are on a tie of 45 points. And if you have a look at Revenant X Park, they are also balancing the placement as well as elimination points. And NG Pros, they were just about average in the particular map of Bermuda, but it did not affect them much. They still stand as equal to number 1 position team.
Well, true. And it's all about those placement points, the eliminations that have took a turn for the likes of Revenant X Park, giving them the upper edge, and 45 total points. NG Pros falling right back, Insane with 32, Vashishta with 29, and the performance is looking really good for both of the teams. I'm very happy for them, Insane and Vashishta. Autobots on the other end, this is just the beginning for Group C, so they're also finding their own sweet spot, and I believe at one point when they're very confident, they can go ahead and start turning things for themselves. Car 98 on the other end with 19 points. Reckoning, they need to buckle up and step up big time. Tycoons as well. God's Reign, they're also finding their momentum in the second following day. But this one player, Sahil, he has found his momentum with 11 done eliminations and a damage of 37-33.
Beastin being equipped, throwables being used, and Sahil did the exact job that was required with the Coda being equipped with his all the information that he had. He did everything that was needed. Sahil with the MVP title on his name. And if you have a look at the assist, it was not only about the elimination, he also delivered 8 assists to his teammates. Let's also talk about the entire team, about how did they perform in the map of Bermuda. It is all about Wolverine using Oscar, Sahil with a Coda for the information, and Electrotherapy came in from Black in the final fight as well. KD got Skylar for the long range clearance, and this is something that is a little different as compared to other teams that they are using. It is more or less about procuring more elimination points, and this sort of character abilities is bringing in best from them.
It's about lasting long as well, and that's where this entire team is coming down upon. Usually, we see a couple of rushers from any team, but here you can see every single department is very happy. You have the support class, you have the sniper class, you have the rusher, alongside you have the bomber as well. So, all round, a really good performance. RNTX, they have performed so well, and you can see it in the game summary as well. It's speaking volumes. Total eliminations being 68, knocks being 97. So, the amount of conversion rate that you can see here at the beginning, it was looking very less, and then later on gradually those knocks were converting and those eliminations were for sure pouring down. Total damage dealt as well is 46,210. So I'm happy.
And the sniper skills have just improved. Talking about the previous map of Kalahari, which we call the map of snipers, had the longest range of 110 meters. And right now we get to see the longest range being 125 meters. Now it's not about the map of Kalahari or any other map. It's all about the snipers. Wherever they are comfortable, they are shooting in right on time and getting those angles. And the pixel angles are bringing them some elimination points, which is needed for the team. For now, Revenant X-Park has set a benchmark of total of 38 points, which is one of the biggest booyah in the league stages. Let's see if they are going to bring in, if other teams are going to bring in such action or no. Ladies and gentlemen, it is just 2 matches down, 4 more to go. This is the time that me, Tanya, as well as Azora are going to go ahead with a short break, but we are going to be back soon in a couple of minutes.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to TEZ FFMIC India Cup 2025. My name is Cribs. Joining me is going to be Arka, and we are going to be your casters for the next few games. The first two games, oh my god, they were such bangers. I mean, I did not know whether I was still watching Free Fire or whether I was watching one team absolutely bullying a bunch of other people, stealing their lunch money and just shoving their faces into the locker. I don't know if this is a Free Fire lobby or a high school lobby.
I mean, I would still say that it's a dominative lobby because suddenly as we see that Total Gaming or Godlike are not there, the others are taking advantage. Now they've realized that there are no big names and this is our time to dominate. And the way they're dominating, I think they're putting up a challenge even for those teams who do not exist in this lobby, because ultimately it's not just one or two eliminations we are seeing. We're seeing double-digit eliminations by single players. That is phenomenal.
Exactly, right? I mean, we've seen games where teams manage to get 10, maybe 11 finishes as a whole. And now in the previous game, we saw one single guy get 11 eliminations by himself. And here's more team stats to watch out for, just so that we can compare them together. You just saw one guy pull off 11 eliminations, but in the next map in Alpine, teams like Reckoning Esports, they have 16 eliminations during the online phase, and they've done pretty well. NG Silver Eagle, quite an elimination-hungry team, and they've got a booyah to themselves as well. But take a look at the disparity between NG Silver Eagle, NG Pros, and the damage between them and Reckoning Esports. Reckoning Esports have a massive 19,000 damage. That's ridiculous. So anyone who's landing close to Reckoning Esports need to be really careful.
Nah, I have to second that, because not only Reckoning Esports, but also we can see that Non-Stop Gaming, these two have a bit of a kerfuffle in that Malaysia region. So I'm waiting to see whether that actually is going to turn out in favor of the others, or is it that, God's Reign is not far away. They're going to come in and do a third party. Same goes for that of TT as well. So somewhere I feel in this map, Reckoning might be the team to look out for, but somewhere I feel that Non-Stop Gaming, even they can do something wonderful, because 2 games and such level of consistency, they've already proved to us that they are the team to watch out for.
Well, I really hope that everybody brings their best game into this one, because this is going to get quite heated up. I mean, we've reached roughly the halfway point of this week, and the teams in Group B will be in even more danger because they will not be playing tomorrow. Tomorrow, it's just going to be teams A and C. So the teams of Group B, they need to rack up as many points as possible. Whether they will be able to do it or not, we'll take a look at it later. But for now, I want to see what the predictions of all the casters are like. I know my predictions. Arka. Oh, okay. So we have a little bit of overlap. I'm glad that we are on the same page that way. We both believe in Team Tycoons and Non-Stop Gamers. But you believe in K98 Army. Interesting. Why them for this particular map?
I mean, the Wounded Lions, right? They did show us some potential in the first game. The second game did not kind of go their way, but they're trying to maintain that average. Now, since they have read everybody else properly in this map, I do believe that, they might have a chance to make it into the top 3. And if they do, then the momentum is just going to carry forward. But, Soul out of nowhere, I'm not shocked, to be frank, because I was expecting to put Soul in my top 3 as well. But why Soul? That too in first place.
Yeah, in Alpine, especially, I do believe that SATUL can do really well, because even when they don't have a good position, they know that they need to go kill hungry. They need to get more eliminations. More importantly, when SATUL has a good position, I sometimes believe it's a curse. We've seen way too many games where SATUL is in the center of the circle. They have the best possible spot, the only team who has hard cover, and then they go on to lose that game. So that's why I was like, okay, in Alpine, they almost never get the central spot. They always struggle for positions, and they land somewhere towards the top of the map, towards Intellect Center and whatnot. So they will never be in the center. And because of that, I reverse engineered, and I thought that maybe they can win the booyah in this game.
I mean, I thought something similar when it comes to TT as well, Team Tycoons, because they do not hold the center. The drop locations are in the corner. And every time I see this team heated up, the momentum doesn't go down. They always pick up frags after frags. They always get eliminations. And once they get, start going, I believe that they also can pick up, a large number of eliminations with a booyah for themselves. So I guess this is going to be a showdown not only for us but also for the teams out there, because Reckoning as well as Non-Stop Gaming now are going to be under radar, because these two teams, the kind of phenomenal performance they've shown so far. I did see that team Insane in the map of Bermuda kind of had a chance to eliminate the side of Non-Stop Gaming.
Yeah, they
so
did.
Somewhere I feel that might get replicated and another team might come out successful.
I really think that Team Tycoons are going to be the one that crown this other team who's supposed to be successful, because we've seen them third party relentlessly with no worry about their own well-being, not a care in the world. They just push in whenever they see a chance. And we've seen even in the online qualifiers, some big names like TSG Army will eliminated because Team Tycoons was constantly targeting everybody and TSG just happened to be one of them. So if Team Tycoons are not attacking you, well, then I guess you need to consider yourselves lucky, because these guys are not going to care about which team they're up against, whether they are the table toppers or if they're at the bottom of the table, they will go up against you nonetheless.
I mean, I'm kind of disappointed with Team Insane, and I hope that they make a comeback over here, because Salu has been that primary player who knows exactly how to place his team where, and he's been very good with the firepower as well. So somewhere, since I'm unable to see that, I'm expecting some new teams to be on the top of the table. But ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to step into the next map. It's going to be the map of Alpine, the region completely filled with the Chinese topography. Now we'll have to see which among these Indian teams are going to reign supreme.
It's a beautiful map, slightly skewed towards the south. And while we did see all the drop locations of the teams early on, I do believe that we will be seeing some changes instantly. Autobots are going towards Fusion. Meanwhile, you have Assista Esports dropping towards Blueville. Reckoning Esports, we expected them to drop towards Militia, but instead they've gone towards the Rivermouth. So that's a little different. SATUL, though, they're already in a battle, and Car98 have locked arms against them. These are the two teams that we picked, Arka. I guess we'll see which one's predictions are going to come out over here.
It seems like things are going your way for now, but K98, after losing Sid, they might have to, be a little bit careful. They'll have to send one player away. They've got 2 eliminations. SATUL are looking stronger when it comes to this fight, but let's not forget, very closely are the Wolves, who tend to come in and pounce against anybody who's taking those initial fights. And Reckoning, since they're getting in closer, we're able to see that Likith might have done the biggest mistake of his life, and he's got to be punished for it.
Licky. Uncharacteristic of him to make such mistakes, but Arsh avenges his fallen teammate by getting the frag onto Ronith. Keep in mind that Car98 have also managed to get a revive. Harsh just plugged in Sid, and now both those players are also dropping down to the ground. But SATUL continue to rack up all these eliminations, and they've got 4 to their name already.
Yes, they're looking promising for now. They've got the revivals through as well. And I do believe that now they'll look forward to a bit more composed gameplay. Whereas on the other side, Reckoning, since they did not stick together, and that's not what they do always, they tend to, divide themselves to pick up those early eliminations. They might be doing something wrong out here, because K98 on one side, and then you've got SATUL, who might pounce upon you and pick you up one player at a time. So let's see whether that's going to be the case. But for now, K98, they look like they're in deep troubles, because one last man is going to be chased around by the side of Reckoning, who's trying to do his best to, somehow deal some damage and get away. Wota gets taken down, all thanks to that mine, but I don't think so it's going to be easy for them, because another player gets taken down, and the confirmation as well. Botcott living up to his name, and a beautiful gameplay coming in from his side.
Reckoning Esports, 2 eliminations for 2 players lost. That's a fair exchange, and they should be able to grab plenty of tokens to revive their players already. They are not in too much danger, considering that they did change up their drop location. We were expecting to see them in Militia, but NG Pros are over there. Now, SATUL, by virtue of having pushed away the members of Car98 army from them, enjoy a little bit of open space over there next to Forest Red. That being said, though, SATUL are now trying to take pot shots in every single direction. They spotted a member of NG Pros. They try to shoot him. They also see a member of NG Silver Eagle. They try to take pot shots at him. But these are all long-range shots, so I'm not expecting anything intense just yet. Speaking of intense, take a look at that elimination feed. Team Tycoons is locked in a battle against Vasista Esports, and that's happening in Blueville. We're going to be jumping into that game also pretty soon, because so far we've only seen eliminations. Meanwhile, Kar 98 Army just managed to recover every single one of their players. So all the losses that they suffered at the hands of SATUL have been negated now. But back down towards Fusion. You've got Silver Eagles versus Team Hind. Wait, this is not even towards Blue Hill. This is towards Garrison. This is the completely different fight towards the northern side. But they are not alone. 1+ God's Reign is also nearby, so they need to hurry up. Otherwise, the third party is imminent.
Oh, very much. God's Reign, who always come into third party. It's good for us to call them the third party kings. Now can pick up a lot of frags. Silver Eagles, they're going to be cut off by their wings, and now they'll have to fall back. Lexo as well as Somi will look forward to revive their teammates primarily, and then look forward to some more fights. Whereas on the other side, Team Hind, they need to be careful because all the information God's Reign have collected so far, now they're going to bring into picture. And look at how Kaushik is being clever over here, holding those high grounds through those openings, will be able to land that grenade perfectly, and will be getting that. The second one also following up. Karma in the air. Can he put another player down? He misses it by just a mile, and I do believe that after which now they're going to chase down these players and try to put an end to them.
This should be quite beneficial for 1+ God's Reign. Poor Karma, trapped in a corner, really nowhere else to go, and he's going to get hunted down. It was an internal battle between Kaushik and Anshu about who's going to get that knock first, and then Manish also tries to jump in. Meanwhile, back towards Ocean View. This is a completely different fight, which had already begun. We were seeing Team Tycoons go up against Vasista Esports, but now they seem to be locking horns against Autobots. Vasista Esports managed to escape from this battle. They go further towards the south, and now Team Tycoons and Autobots, they are locking horns against each other. Amin and Flash moving in from the northern side of that wall. But Autobots also don't want any part of this. They are escaping using their jump pads, but they land straight in the hands of Gopu OP, and he's gonna get one elimination more, ready to be intercepted. Flash is also on the other side. Take a look at Team Tycoons. They're really trying to just surround Autobots from every single side, and even Mysterious goes down.
Absolutely phenomenal gameplay coming in from the side of Tycoons. They're showing why they're considered as one of the best team out here. And look at them, they're hungry for more. As soon as they get to know that one team is almost being eliminated, they find the nearest other player and they're going to pounce upon him. And this time, Silver Eagles, they're going to be ending in a sad note in case Omi gets taken down, because no revival has come through yet. But TT knows that there's a lurker nearby, and they're taking their time. They're lurking, they're looking behind every single rock, they're looking inside every single hut. All the nooks and crannies are now being investigated, whereas Somi is holding on to his breath as long as possible, but one sigh of relief, one sigh of breathe, and I do believe it's the end of the story for Silver Eagles.
Waiting, anticipating, he's hoping that they leave him alone, and their rescuers might just be Vasista Esports. Somi tries to escape. Team Tycoons really wanted to get that frag onto him, but Vasista Esports was also taking pot shots at Team Tycoons. So now they need to decide whether they want to eliminate an entire squad, or do they want more elimination points by fighting a team which has more members alive. Silver Eagle Somi uses the binoculars, spots out that there's no player over here, but he walked into the UAV of another team, so his position is revealed, even though there's technically nobody else in front of him in that compound. At least he can access the vending machines in any nearby compound and still get his teammates up, but he might just run into NG Pros, and that is not any better. Yeah, there you go. NG Pros have already started shooting at Somi. He's been forced to get out of his vehicle, and he's out! NG Pros eliminate NG Silver Eagle. I guess this town is not big enough for two of them.
Absolutely, and I just love the way NG Pros are playing this. Look at them prioritizing the center of the circle and also making sure the nearest compounds are completely clear, and then try to get those high grounds. Similar kind of a thought process going on towards the side of Team Tycoons as well, where, you know, they evaded from that fight from Vasista, and then they went to the center of the circle prioritizing some high grounds as well. So let us see whether these two teams will be locking horns later in early stages of this game. But for now, we can see that Reckoning, who seemed to be unstoppable in the previous game, who got that initial knocks, initial fuffles, and they were able to get those frags in those small fights, is now trying to evade from fights and try to play it safe, because more possession points is something they're looking at.
Yeah, they do need more position points. I think they just need more of all sorts of points. I don't think just position is going to be enough for them. but two big names are about to clash against each other. If at all they choose to engage over here, OnePlus God's Reign have the option to disengage. Plenty of room in the zone. They don't need to fight for this northwestern periphery. The circle does shift a little more towards the northeast this side, but another shift is imminent, so we'll take a look at it after a couple of minutes again. But for now, I do believe that SATUL have laid eyes on OnePlus God's Reign. They are definitely aware about their presence.
Mm-hmm. But I still feel that, SATUL is playing it safe. They've come to the region which is less traveled for now. They're at Snowfall region, trying to hold the corner of the circle, which might, end up being the final circles. And then, once the circle starts to shift away towards their direction, that is where they'll try to show their true colors. But as of now, Vasista Esports slowly catching up their momentum. They put down two of the strongest players. Let me remind you, Revenant X-Park are bleeding out at this point of time. As they step away from this fight, they're getting closer towards SATUL, who are holding a very, very strong compound towards that Snowfall region, are now going to welcome all these eliminations coming their way.
100%. If anyone comes their way, they would be more than happy to welcome them with open arms and opening fire at them. Kaushik almost got knocked, but Licky will find him nonetheless. OnePlus God's Reign unnecessarily putting themselves in a bit of danger by trying to climb up on top of that mansion building. And SATUL, it's just a third zone. They can tank this much damage and try to get a couple of more elimination points. But now they've discovered that Vasista Esports is also nearby. Meanwhile, Revenant X-Pac have been eliminated. What a turn of events for them. Got the booyah in the previous game, and now they're out. Even Team Hind goes down. People are falling like flies over here. Meanwhile, Reckoning Esports are laying it into Autobots. They are just bombarding them with that grenade launcher.
Absolutely, and look at what's happening on the other side of this. Slowly, Reckoning Esports pushing towards Autobots will be able to, decimate them as we speak more about them. But God's Reign on the other side, slowly sneaking up, because for now they've got 5 eliminations. They know the position points is going to be their primary, target for the time being. But at the same time, the way they're looking closer towards SATUL shows that they are preparing themselves for a better fight. Because once you have the information of how SATUL are going to place themselves, in case there's a third party coming from the eastern side of that map, I do believe that is when they're going to showcase their true talent. But for now, Vasista gets way too close towards SATUL, all thanks to a little bit of a compound they're holding, and all they're going to pray is that no grenade comes into this building or into this window.
Yeah, so they have very little space for themselves, and I do hope that one of them at least has Steffi equipped so that they can protect themselves from these said grenades that you mentioned. But SATUL, now they will be forced to come out into the open. They are forced to relinquish that compound, and OnePlus God's Reign have a little more breathing room than them. But SATUL are also getting worried about getting shot in the back, so they've already deployed their Steffi abilities. They've already used the Graffiti's Blessing and the Time Turner from Chrono. So they really need to just finish this fight before they can focus on in the rest of the game. Flamethrower. That misses. That could have really dealt a lot of burning damage onto SATUL, but they will send Arsh forward. Meanwhile, Kaushik has spotted him up close. Kaushik now gets challenged by Arsh, but he's just running out of there. Kaushik loses a bunch of his HP, but he disengages from his team, and his teammates are now healing him with the treatment gun. That's amazing. OnePlus God's Reign, they are very, very objective about this. They know for a fact that they don't need to fight SATUL over here, but SATUL are more desperate to finish this fight and gain control of the entire northeastern periphery of the circle. Arsh gets back upon his feet. Marvel goes for a very risky revive, and now Anshu uses the Oscar dash, but ends up dying himself and gets finished off by Licky as well. That's great coordination. The crossfires between SATUL are insane. It's a triple takedown. And it's just down to Predator. He tries to escape with the jump pad, but he will be shot down before he can take to the skies. And OnePlus God's Reign fall.
Oh my goodness, SATUL, are your predictions coming out true? But Vasista on the other side, they take advantage of the situation. They know that Soul at this point of time can be a little bit weaker, and that's why they're pouncing upon them. UAs are going to be deployed, but eventually the trade game seems to be phenomenal. Yes, grenade launchers in the hand of Patlu can be a little bit different. The zone is also coming so close towards SATUL that they might get snapped out of it, and that is what exactly happens. SATUL eliminated after showing a phenomenal firepower with 14 eliminations. And I do believe that Versista will look forward to seal the deal with that booyah, because now they're heading towards another fight which is taking place, and this time they have the TTS as well as Team Insane fighting it out.
This gas station is about to go up in flames, quite literally. Look at the amount of invasions that Team Insane are showing us. Team Tycoons desperately trying to defend their fallen compound, but Amina and Gopu OP have established a lovely crossfires with those M590s. These shotguns are going berserk. It's just RNS, and he's stuck in a corner. He's hoping that Hacker will be able to get rest, but nope. Sohan from Reckoning Esports comes in and steals that finish away from Team Tycoons. And now Reckoning Esports also want a piece of the pie. The sleeping wolves have finally woken up, and they really wanted to get a bunch of kills over here. Gopu OP uses the glue wall melter, clears out that entire cash counter area, but he turns around and snaps Sohan in half. Butlu, in return, will eliminate him. So that's Versista stealing those finishes away from Team Tycoons. That's just brilliant.
Absolutely brilliant. Versista Esports, the way they're playing it, they've started to understand how this complete lobby is turning out to be. Slowly and steadily, they only come and take fights when they know they can win it out. And ultimately, they are raking up some eliminations as well. But TT, seems like now they're going to be in a bit of a trouble, because so far they had a vending machine right next to them. They could have gone in for the revival, but at the same time they know that they need to prioritize the circle. Three of the players get inside. Ninja from the side of Reckoning seems to be the last man standing for the side of Reckoning. They need to pounce upon him. If they let him breathe, that again Versista, they're going to get a higher advantage of doing so. Car 98 from the other side, now they've been doing well, they've been surviving. All four players, they've got the man advantage as well. Now Versista Esports, they need to be careful, because complete information of Versista is actually in the hands of K98.
Yeah, and K98 have been just watching this entire battle unfold with a bucket of popcorn on the high ground, and now they decide to toss that popcorn bucket away and turn it into a bucket of blood as they move in for the kills. Swaroop and go in for the dives. Butlu cocoons himself in a goo wall, but he just keeps himself alive for a second longer. But no use. K98 pounce upon them the moment Versista get those finishes. And K98 army take away that booyah. Great prediction, Arka.
I mean, I was expecting K98 to play, but not so well, because I wanted them to, somehow build that momentum. But what I'm shocked right now is how Versista has played this game. I was expecting them to do something like this by the end of the day, because they start to kick in at the fourth or the fifth game in every single day we have seen them previously. But it seems like the Lions have woken up a little bit earlier. And same goes for the side of TT as well. Team Tycoons, in case they had held on to their horses, not pushed in against the side of, probably Versista, then probably they might have had a chance.
Yeah, but Versista Esports really figured out how to handle this entire lobby. They have been struggling a little, and it's about time that they finally wake up with 12 eliminations to their name, maybe even more, because they managed to, finish out that entire Team Tycoons roster. Maybe they have somewhere between 12 to 15 eliminations. So that's a big game for Versista, and they really needed it because they were kind of straggling towards the bottom of this scoreboard. So this would be a good opportunity for them to rise up as well.
Yeah, somewhere I feel that, teams need to realize the statement which was used in our history. My enemy's enemy is my friend. They should have held on. I think Versista used it really well, because they knew that K98 were cornered at one, K98 used it really well because they understood that Versista were cornered in one side, and they also knew that TTs were also cornered in another side. So they made use of the topography. They made sure that they spread around, wait for these two to fight it out, and that is when they came in. TT could have also taught the same, but Versista, their hands were tight.
Versista, they were forced to go into that position. Their hands might have been tied, but even while they are handcuffed, even when they are chained, they are chained together and they fight as a roster which is capable of slaying giants. They might not have the booyah, but they definitely won our hearts, and they definitely have the highest points in this game. 21 points for Versista Esports. Those are some big numbers, much needed numbers too.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, where do they stand in the overall standing? Because previous to this, we saw that the teams were able to rake up, a double digit or a double digit and a big number of eliminations. This time around, yes, they would have climbed the ladder, but not as much as, trying to hold the top spot itself. But for now, Alpine, the MVP of this game, is going to be Kar98 Botgod, who took his time with that P90, who made sure that he gains information, and the Tatsuya with other combinations. This seems to be something interesting.
Yeah, and the fact that he did not really get to loot much is why he still got that P90 as the preferred weapon, because keep in mind that Kar98 were down to just one player. That one player managed to revive the remaining three. They got the res back up online, and I guess one of them must have been maybe super revived, so that's why they got the P90 as continuation, or maybe he just found it on the ground. I can't tell exactly who got him that P90, but it nets him the MVP status of this game. But now let's take a look at the rest of the team as well. Great usage. We are starting to see the support player who generally picks up characters like Beaston and Alvaro. Most of the time in the online qualifiers, we've seen that guy equip Steffi or maybe like a Cassie healing bond. But most of them are now starting to pick up the Chrono Shield again. And almost every team is running the Chrono once more.
It's good to see that as well, because now they understand that the close range battles are not going to be there. They can use those chrono shields here and there to make sure that the mid range battles goes in their way, and that is how K98 as well. They have done a decent job in this game, staying as silent as possible, prioritizing the 3/4 of the circle, and then try to make it through. But the game summary, I'm kind of disappointed when I see the total knocks as well as total eliminations not tallying up that much. But the total damage, it seems to be going in an average.
The total damage at 43,000 is pretty decent, especially considering that there were 211 glue walls deployed in the map of Alpine. I mean, these are glue wall numbers which can most certainly rival the numbers of a map like Purgatory or something. So I'm actually surprised to see that many glue walls being destroyed over here. But yeah, the 43,000 damage over there does certainly help. And that's exactly why this game was so entertaining, because there were so many quick fights happening. We did not even get to see a couple of teams get eliminated on camera.
I mean, I still feel that thanks to 4 that we're able to see that more damage being registered, because just in case teams were not using those 4s and those final circles where they tend to go outside of the circle and then try to come in from a different angle, that is where, most of the damage is being dealt by the zone, but still they survive. And somehow, that caters to the opponents kind of taking advantage of it. But nevertheless, we are able to see that new teams are able to, acquire Booyah, and the overall standing might look a little bit different. And the teams to watch out for in the map of Purgatory for now is going to be Autobots, and it's time for teams like Autobots and Insane to wake up.
Well, Autobots, they are certainly the team to look out for in Purgatory, but there are other names as well, especially OnePlus God's Reign and Kar98 Army. Especially since they just got a Booyah, I think they will be, feeling that momentum really well. And they don't have a Booyah in Purgatory, so this would really just add that cherry on top of the cake if they manage to get one in this map as well.
Absolutely. Kar98, I just hope that they replicate it, because they need a big one to be on the top of the table. And let me remind you, all the teams are fighting to be at the very tippity top of the overall standing and not of any single game. I know it's a stepping stone, but ultimately now looking at the preferred drop locations, we can see there are some drop clashes, especially between the big names. We saw God's Reign versus Non-Stop Gaming at one corner. Then we see that Team Tycoons is going head to head with Kar98. But somewhere Marble Works is where the real curry is going to be prepared.
Exactly, but all these battles, especially between Autobots and Team Hind as well as NG Silver Eagle, I'm expecting them to be half-baked battles, because most of these teams will not go in full commitment into this battle. They would probably try to escape when they start losing members. And because of that, I do think that teams like Revenant, X-Spark and Reckoning will have a bit of an advantage. I do believe Reckoning will have even more of an advantage, because they will have their full roster ready. They are dropping in Ski Lodge. Nobody really can test them. And which is also why I've actually picked Reckoning as my prediction winner in this particular game.
Non-stop gaming, they're well known for their consistency, and that's why I go with them as my number one selection. Because in the previous game as well, even though they got eliminated almost at the in the middle of the games, they had a decent number of eliminations as well. So concentrating on that, and also Team Insane. Previously, I saw that Car 98 was able to pick up Team Insane as well. Now they are the wounded line, so I would like to bring them into the fray. But SA2L, I guess this is one of those teams who can be an out of syllabus question to anybody in the lobby. So it's better to keep them in the top 3.
Yeah, I mean, I chose Reckoning because I believe that they have a good amount of firepower in this map.
They
so that
prove
would be
themselves
great
as well.
Yeah, and even OnePlus God's Reign, they have some really good movement, especially with them landing in the center. If they survive up until the end, I think they've taken the whole game to themselves. Whether or not they manage to do that, we will find out very soon, ladies and gentlemen, as we are about to take off over the skies of Purgatory, and these players are about to drop down, some of them to certain death.
Let's see whether that's going to be the case, because the flight path looks interesting all the way from Ski Lodge towards the quarry region. This is a bit of a northern favored flight path, and for those teams who I feel that they might get head for a drop clash, I believe that they would like to evade from it. Nevertheless, I can see that Non-Stop Gaming, they have an info that there's another team close by. They've gone in for a split, even though there's a team close by. That is kind of a shocker for me, especially towards the Brasilia region. And guess what? They have another uninvited guest in the name of Team Tycoons.
Team Tycoons, will they actually stay over here? I mean, we expected them to go towards Marble Works, but I think they're splitting up now. Take a look at that. Hitman is taking the zipline across. You already have Amin and Flash also on the way out from Brasilia towards the southern part of it. Meanwhile, the first battle is at the hands of Team Hind. They've already secured 2 eliminations and they draw first blood. Hold on. They didn't just get first blood. They got the first elimination. NG Silver Eagles, with just a minute into the game, already find themselves back in the lobby.
Silver Eagles, I don't know what's happening to this team. I somewhere feel that they need to make sure that they find their composure, or else they might end up being eliminated from the league stages itself. Nevertheless, we look at the other side and we see that Revenant X-Park as well are going to left handicapped with the last man standing, Sahil, who did so much in the second game to get a double-digit eliminations with the single player. And it seems like somebody has understood how the music is played in their boot camp. And I hope the cards are stuck right, because in case they get completely eliminated, the story can be very, very different in the overall standing.
In the overall standings, teams like Vasista Esports were struggling quite a lot, and I'm glad that they've got themselves a little bit of a buffer, courtesy of the previous game. But they need a lot more. OnePlus God's Reign towards the southern part of Brasilia have now left the entirety of that town and just gone in towards that double house compound. Oh, poor struggle. He will struggle to finish them off. I mean, yeah, sure, he gets the knock on Predator, but there's just way too many players in front of him. There was no way he was winning that 1v4.
I mean, I really like this mindset coming in from the side of NG Pros, because 2 of the players went in for a fight. The other 2 were kind of maintaining the distance in Brasilia, were very close to those recall tower, and immediately they go in for a revival. And now, since they're a well-oiled engine, they understand that they need to stick together. Now they're going to fall back and try to re-strategize themselves. Let them breathe. These Tigers do know to come back and chew the biggest chunk out of you. Whereas on the other side, we're able to see that SA2L is getting way too close to Team Insane, and I believe a fight is going to be brewing up very, very soon.
I do hope that many more fights brew up soon. Hit list activated. Team Insane tracking a member from Car 98. But in front of them, they've got S8UL. UAV also deployed, so information will be exchanged. Glue wall melters thrown down, and that forces Arshan Divine to split up. They are close enough to each other to give some covering fire in case things go wrong. But yet another UAV will be deployed, and this will let them track exactly where their opponents are, so they can actually target one of these players who seems to be more isolated from the rest. And that one player was Salu. Can he escape? He's taken to the skies, but now Hacker, RNS and Vishal, the three-man lineup is coming on top of the hill, and they might just force Arsh into a corner. His teammates not that close to him. Marvel also lost most of his HP, so this could be quite dangerous. I really hope SATUL don't get plucked off one by one.
Oh no, Team Insane, what are you doing? Is it really necessary for you to confine yourself inside a compound like this? Arsenal, I know that you're stepping in to get some really good guns, but SATUL, once they have their eyes set on a team, they're going to come in clinical, they're going to come in tactical to put you down, and I hope you guys are prepared for what's going to come up next. Look at that jump shot. It's going to be connecting well. One of the players gets taken down. Hush is going to get traded, but with the blink of an eye, with the snap of a finger, they're going to be eliminated. Team Insane. Such a small textbook mistake, and they had to pay heavily as they're going to learn the lesson the hardest way.
Exactly. And because SATUL had the hit list on a member of Kar98 activated, they knew exactly when that third party was coming in. So they knew exactly when to dip out of that fight and leave Team Insane to die in a ditch over there. That's a really well-connected flamethrower. Licky dying, succumbs behind that fence. And that's a loss for SATUL, but they're still 3-man strong. Quite possible to recover. Meanwhile, Kaushik, I saw that on the kill feed. That was a lovely headshot connected, and he becomes the headshot king because of just that one finish. Amazing. I mean, we kind of expected OnePlus God's Reign to be a very dominant force in this lobby. Yeah. And now, they're showing it on the stats as well.
Absolutely, and guess what's happening out here? Autobots, it seems like they're going to push their luck a bit more, and they're chasing down Vasista. That's outside of the circle instead of prioritizing the center one. Mayank is going to be punished for it, but there was a fair trade coming in. Vasista on the other side, Swarup down on his knees, and Tiger says, you know what, it's time for me to roll. Goes in, connects that shot with the help of his teammate as well, and now the confirmations might be coming through. 4 eliminations strong is what Vasista is looking, but again, let's not forget that Autobots, since they had a plan in mind, one of the players falls back from that fight and eventually revives the rest of their team. But the last man from the side of Autobots is now being chased, and I think he's going to taste his own medicine.
Mac just proning behind that tree, hoping that it would save him, but nothing can save him from imminent death. Patlu, with a triple takedown, has secured the 5th finish for Vasista Esports. And these guys are cleaning up the entire Eastern Island. I'm sorry, the Western Island. Pardon my geography.
The Western Island completely empty. Marbleworks. Nobody's over there to contest. Through Marbleworks, you could have entered into Brasilia without any kind of troubles whatsoever. But since every team is thinking similarly to get to the eastern side of the map, and then when the circle shifts, try to head to it, Kar98 are going to be the epicenter holders. So goes the side of NGs as well, Nonstop Gaming. They're looking forward for a really good game. Reckoning Esports as well have now got the northern region of this place. So let's see what's going to happen. But for now, TTs are getting busy.
Team Tamilas, I'm sorry, the Team Tycoons, these guys have a lovely buffet in front of them. They have a plethora of targets to choose from. Predator just trying his level best to evade, turns around and fights, hoping that he would be able to get the drop on Amin, but nope. Meanwhile, while Amin continues staying behind this glue wall, his vehicle has been turned over. Not a problem, because Flash still has his wheels up, and he's gonna get that shot onto Predator.
I still feel that was a very clever move coming in from the side of Predator. He knows that he's going to be, one of the other players, the last 2 players standing. So he was like, you know what, I'm going to take that punch. I'm going to buy you some time. Make sure that you wait from here, go into the nearest vending machine, and then revive your teammates. And that's the best thing for us to do, because a 2v4 fight against the team like TTs is impossible to pull off, especially when you know that they're well equipped.
But there's one more team that's well equipped, and they haven't really been accounted for yet. That's right, it's Reckoning Esports. They've captured the vantage point, they've captured the God compound, and Kar98 Sid is still inside that sniper tower, undiscovered, undetected. I don't think they even know that the rest of Kar98 is in this compound as well. Reckoning Esports are going towards Moat House. I think they might have seen the remaining members of OnePlus God's Reign land over there, because Predator was just rezzed, and I think they might have noticed that. So they might try to gatekeep OnePlus God's Reign over here because naturally they're the easier target.
Absolutely. Now again, OnePlus God's Reign, we have seen that he's gone in for a revival. He's got one revival through. And what Reckoning is doing is they know that there's a vending machine and a recall tower outside to near the moat house region. So that is why they're trying to play it as safe as possible, stick to that corner to make sure that nobody's going to backstab them, even though there's a revival coming through. But God's Reign, they're going in for one revival at a time. And as they buy some time to their teammates, they're going to be spreading around, taking this topography for themselves. And that is when, slowly and steadily, as they regroup, they might be troublesome for the teams in the final circle.
Yeah, and OnePlus God's Reign really want to make sure that they're kitted up. That's why they're taking their sweet time to res their players one by one by spreading out and using the 600 cred revive as well, so that the players at least spawn with P90s.
Yeah,
that's actually quite smart. And they know that they are not in any sort of danger just yet. They don't need to hurry at all. They can tank the zone damage. Two of them have forward equipped, so they should be pretty fine. Meanwhile, Reckoning Esports, it seems like they've just discovered a UAV, which I believe might have been deployed by Car 98 Army. And now they will be aware that, hey, there's a team over here as well. One of us needs to mark them. So Ninja is going to keep his eyes towards that vantage point compound. Meanwhile, the rest of his teammates are going to try to gatekeep OnePlus God's Reign because they can see them come closer and closer. Kaushik has already seen it. He's using the mobile purchasing area, and he's hoping to maybe get a launchpad out of it. I can't really tell what's in the move list for OnePlus God's Reign over here because they have a little amount of space. Just enough so that they don't get suffocated. But they will still need to find something.
Absolutely. And now they've been tagged off as well. Whereas on the other side, North-South Gaming so far with no eliminations whatsoever, have they constrained themselves too much in this game? Because the only way I see them being unstoppable is being aggressive. Now, since they've adapted to defensive gameplay, I hope they're getting ready for what's happening next. Because to the center of the circle are some well-equipped teams like Car 98. You've got SA2L trying to get to the center. God's Reign slowly and steadily regrouping and also making sure that they're well-equipped. Whereas Reckoning on the other side have been holding that topography for so long that now they know when to activate those gears, when to activate that engine, and then coming all bonkers.
Oh, it seems like Team Tycoons are going bonkers over here. They really want control of this northern road, and SA2L are getting showered from both above and from below. They are stuck in a sandwich. Meanwhile, Team Tycoons are also being shot at indiscriminately. Basically, the kings of the hill, Reckoning Esports, are going to take pot shots at anything that they see moving. They don't care if their opponent is SA2L or Team Tycoons. They want eliminations from both the ends. Meanwhile, NG Pros are also now trying to take shots at Team Tycoons. So these guys are trapped, and this is a very, very ugly situation for Team Tycoons to get stuck inside. Licky gets taken down, and now it's a race. Who's gonna steal more kills? Will SA2L get eliminated? Yes, they do. Gopu OP lands the final shot. So even though Team Tycoons is in a bit of danger, at least they take down one team with them, and their immediate neighbors, Team SA2L, have been wiped out. Now they need to be careful about being shot by the team on the top. That's Reckoning Esports. And at the same time, they've just discovered where NG Pros are, so they need to be safe from them as well. NG Pros at the bottom, Reckoning Esports at the top. Yeah, these guys are kind of trapped over here, and there's a long way to go in the ring with the zone already pushing them onwards.
I feel that now TT, all they have to do is hold on to their horses for the longest time possible. Either it's got to be Reckoning stepping away from here, or it's got to be NG Pros, because the circle is got to be shrinking in. And by the looks of it, it seems like God's Reign are going to get themselves busy, because another team who's trying to contest them right now is going to be the side of Reckoning, who understand that this one team needs to be eliminated before they step inside the circle. But Team Hend, since they've got the center of the circle almost, now they need to be careful. A push is coming in, and it's going to be non-stop gamers all jumping in to make sure that it's going to be trouble for the side of Team Hind.
So Reckoning and OnePlus God's Reign, they both started fighting each other, but Car 98 Army is actually taking the shots at every single one of them. Meanwhile, a somewhat isolated fight towards the southern end of the circle. It's NG Pros versus Team Hind. Morlot goes down. Struggle tries to find an angle from the water tower, but Karma also will not be able to stay safe behind that fence. And within a matter of seconds, NG Pros wipe the floor with Team Hind. And that is good, because they need to reset quickly enough. Team Tycoons have no other choice but to move in towards this compound. There's no other place left in the circle. They have to move in here here. They have to kick the door down like Inspector Taya and move into this compound. And NG Pros have reset. Almost every single player is on full health and they're ready to intercept Team Tycoons now. Meanwhile, Kar98 Army are just putting the screws to Reckoning Esports. They take 2 players down from 1+ God's Reign and now they take down the entirety of Reckoning Esports. Kar98 Army is having a field day. Meanwhile, NG Pros jump into this little hut. Flash and Goku OP are using the glue walls to keep themselves alive. Goku almost made it outside. A 1v1. They've just pulled off a 2v4 and it's all up to Cropsy. Can he deny Goku OP this 1v3 clutch? Yes, he can. He tried to heal his teammate. He tries to jump inside and get the res onto Manu, but he doesn't have Tiva. That's why it's taking so long to get the res onto him. But Goku OP, he's trying to get elevation on top of this fence, and Cropsy puts up an elevated glue wall. Now his feet are exposed. Can Goku OP finally manage to clutch out this 1v2? Tries to isolate the fights. He gets the knock onto Manu, but it's not enough. It's just down to Cropsy.
Cropsy, who has got 10 plus eliminations already in today's game, is now trying to do his best to make it inside the circle. And look at that, with a sliver of HP, he tries to come in. And Vasista says, knock, knock, we are here and we are the devils to walk away with another booyah for ourselves. Swaroop coming in closer. He's going to be tossing in everything which is in this pocket.
And it's all but done. It's inevitable. Kar98 Army were destined to be the Golden Boys, but unfortunately, the booyah was stolen away from them. Second place finish in the previous game. They missed out the booyah by just a tiny margin, but Vasista Esports more than cover up for it now. They get the booyah, and they have taken it all.
I just love their execution as well. But at one point of time, when they saw that there was a player behind the tree, all they did was first concentrate on that solo player who's trying to get inside from the side of TTs, from the side of NG Pros as well. And they've chosen their fight every single time they made their way inside the circle. So since they were being calm, I just love their rotation. Staying away from all the fights, taking the eastern route all the way to the north, and then trying to make it to the center of the circle, and then making sure that nobody's not only there to backstab them, but also have some high grounds to have a complete view of the topography. I think Vasista did everything right.
Yeah, I mean, Vasista, they did not even have the best position towards the mid game, I was under the impression that Kar98 Army have the best spot. So how did Vasista get there? Let's take a look at it by seeing the replay once again. As you can see over here, this battle between NG Pros and their opponents, Team Tycoons, that was a pretty isolated one. Nobody was able to third party on that in time. And Kar98 Army, they were taking shots at everybody, right? They were responsible for the demise of S8UL, Reckoning Esports, even 1+ God's Reign fell victim to the hands of Kar98 Army. But despite all of that, it's Vasista Esports somehow that managed to sneak a booyah away from them under their noses.
I mean, I still feel that, things could have been so much better if teams had chosen to go to the center of the circle first. In this map, I did see that the story was a little bit different. Let it be Reckoning, let it be that of NG Pros, let it be that of Team Tycoons, Kar98. Everybody stuck to the corners of the circle because they knew that the center of the circle is kind of in the open fields. But when you know that there's something like that, you need to prioritize the high grounds. And very less teams tend to do it. And since Vasista was the only team who had the topography, who had that spread as well in the high ground, I believe that they're worthy of this booyah.
Worthy of this booyah indeed. A124, I'm seeing this character being used after a long time. And a rather unique combination because he's got J-Beebs equipped alongside Alvaro and Beaston, which makes sense for a Grenadier. But then he's also got Moko, which kind of makes sense because he's going to be not just throwing grenades, but he's also using the AC-AT as a sniper. And that's really helpful, especially when you've got that one tag on your opponent, at least a single bullet if you've connected to him. They will be pinged behind the glue walls as well and making sure that they can't take cover in the open. Quite a useful character to have on a map like Purgatory. Let's take a look at the stats of his team. And as you can see, they have gone for a very, very unique approach. Not one single dasher. No Tatsuya, no Oscar. Vasista Esports are going for a completely different team composition from anyone else.
I mean, I think it's more about trying to gain information, right? They've got Coda, they get information, they've got Tiva. Most of them are carrying Tiva because they know the late rotation. They'll have to sometime go in for the quick revivals as well. So I believe that, the defensive gameplay is the kind of mindset they had throughout. And that's how, with the least amount of damage, they were able to register so many eliminations and a decent enough game, because they know that the valuable 12 points they're going to get in that placement is eventually make a lot of difference in the overall standing.
In the overall standings, this will definitely make quite a lot of difference, especially for a team like Vasista Esports. In just a matter of 2 games, they might have turned their fate around in this entire tournament. I mean, up until yesterday, they were not even doing that well, and now 2 big games from them back to back. That's going to be insane. My goodness, take a look at the amount of wasted knocks. 79 knocks, but only 57 eliminations confirmed. That's less than 60. That's less than the number of players that are in this lobby. Yeah, that's kind of disappointing.
Yeah, very much, especially when you have teams like God's Reign right outside of the circle. They're trying to, first revive their teammates. So much of damage has already been dealt out there. And because of the zone itself, we did see 2-3 players get knocked out. So obviously the eliminations are going to be, a little bit lesser. But the total damage as well, it seems like that is way too less in comparison. But for now, today's standing, Vasista Esports, after that booyah being attained, they're going to be at the very tippity top with 72 points. Even though yesterday was not such a great day for them, it seems like they're redeeming themselves and they have 2 more maps to go.
Yep, Vasista Esports doing a really phenomenal job in Alpine and Purgatory. I mean, this could have been a double booyah affair for them if they did not lose that 1v2 against Kar98 Army later on. But then again, can't win everything, right? The fact that they managed to get the 2nd spot in Alpine itself is pretty good. NG Pros, on the other hand, still leading in terms of eliminations, but just a few points behind Vasista Esports, find themselves at the 2nd spot. And Kar98 Army too, by virtue of winning one of the previous games, find themselves inside the top 3. So overall, it's a pretty good day for some of these teams. But there are other big names like SHUL, Remnant X-Pac. They, even after doing pretty well across the 4 games that we've seen today, are not anywhere close to the top 3.
I still feel we have 2 more maps, right? And they might redeem themselves because they're well known for comebacks, because they do not worry about their setbacks. And these are the teams who've been picked up by big orgs. So if the orgs have picked them up, then that means they have seen something in these teams. And that is why, they have been one of the primary objectives, one of the primary teams to have such a big fan following.
Exactly. So let's see whether these teams can mount a comeback or not. But we will see that after a tiny break, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere. More intense Free Fire Max action is coming your way after this break.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You guys are watching TEZ Free Fire Max India Cup 2025. With me on the desk is going to be a bit of a switcheroo as Lucifer is going to be coming in. But Lucifer, I have a question for you right away. You know, today's days has been very chaotic, right? We have got different teams picking up different maps, different teams picking up booyahs in different maps. Do you think the other two maps is going to have a similar story? You think that there's going to be a newer team picking up a booyah?
I think that similar storyline would actually maybe take a dip here, because now teams have gotten accustomed to each other. But I did not think it would start off like this, especially with Group B playing for the second time. This is their day 2 chance of kind of getting themselves a lot of booyahs. Surprised that they struggled and they got themselves the booyahs at around the second map and right now in the 4th game. But going towards this game of Nexterra, this is those newest games, and I feel like back again should be those Group B teams, and starting things off, it's going to be Reckoning who will get an opportunity for another booyah. So far they've secured 2, and that's what I was checking the data. Previously known as RNX, they've gotten 2 booyahs on Nexterra itself, so it should be their most confident game. But the next team who need to pick up pace, Arka, are SA2L. They're at the bottom of the overall standings, and that's a big surprise.
A shocker for sure, but at the same time I still feel that, you know, this team can make a comeback. If not in this one, the final game might be one of those games where we expect one of the players to pick up a double-digit elimination as well. But for now, yes, this Nexterra map seems to be a map for SA2L to pick up that booyah, because Intellect Center is where they are. They don't have any neighbors whatsoever. They can peacefully loot it, try to make this way into the circle. In case it's happening to the center, they can come between Zipline and Foptopia.
Now, when we talk about preferred drop spots, I'm thinking about those fights that would happen, right? And Vasista Esports have looked really good in the entirety of the day. They've always ended up in that top 3, looking closer to that booyah and securing a booyah in the previous game. I was thinking they would secure it in Nexterra. Yes, when we go towards our prediction screen, I would have thought of a different team. But I think with Revenant X Spark and Team Insane, this battle also could go anywhere in Museum, especially because, Arka, in the previous few games, Revenant X Spark are not looking great. They're getting eliminated super duper early.
I guess it's because, you know, those teams who actually have got that firepower, but somewhere, you know, they had to get those, initial jitters, and then they rely on being a bit defensive, and later on they're not able to catch up to that momentum, is what I feel. But for now, it's time for us to look at our predictions for this game, because so far things have been very different. I'm going to go back with non-stop gaming yet again, and Vasista, since they picked up the momentum, I'm just going to add them over there. Reckoning, as you have correctly put, oh my god, guess what? All the 3 teams seems to coincide with one another, but, you know, there's been a bit of a difference in the arrangement.
Yeah, I think in terms of their rankings on the top 3 for Nexterra has a switcheroo between us, but hey, I think this tells us of how clearly we kind of have an idea of who should be in that top 3. Whether the order differs, we will get to know towards the end of this game. Game 5 is going to be super crucial, especially when we move towards the game 6, that is going to be Solara, because as we've been talking about it, that map holds an opportunity for everybody. Now who takes that will be decided. Now it is time for Nexterra game number 5 to decide if it is going to be another booyah which states right for Reckoning from the previous data, or it's going to be somebody new, especially towards the bottom, and Team Hind, slight momentum pickup for them.
Absolutely. This is going to be a map of redemptions for the team in the bottom, and also a map of consistency for the teams at the top. But for now, the flight path is going to be favoring everybody to make sure nobody gets into a kerfuffle. But guess what? K98, they're like, you know what? I can smell somebody wounded, and let's chew upon them, as SA2L's drop location is going to be now compromised with K98 getting way too close and personal.
98, an opportunity. SA2L not looking so good so far. It's something that they should find a way to turn things in their favor. If they don't, I think it's going to be a disappointing start for them in Group C. I generally thought that Group C is going to be as active and looking forward to points in comparison to Group A. But Group B should have been the ones picking up a lot of advantage towards the end of the day. However, they are, as you just saw on your screens, Reckoning getting themselves the first blood and the elimination in their favor.
Podgot, He did the right thing. As soon as the UAV was deployed, SATL started to fire at them, and BotGod was like, you know what guys, I can hear some gunshots to my right, and I believe that I can pinpoint the location of the opponents. And some way or the other, he's trying to attract the complete attention towards him, as SATL are going to be, grouping up against him. He's going to wait for some backup. Shots are going to be connected a little bit. Chrono's shield comes in, but still he's going to be falling back. BotGod running out in the open. He's going to be tagged off a little bit. Now the backup needs to come, or else I don't think so he's going to survive for a long time. Before I could even complete my sentence, the player gets taken down and then finished off.
Kar98. This is the aggression coming in from SATL, but an instant switcheroo. Kar98 are unable to hold their horses at all, as SATL are looking forward to openings in all directions, and Hirsch in trouble. That was not a great idea coming in. Divine free 2 frags for him, and Sid, the last man standing. Is this the first team to be eliminated? He quickly goes to revive his teammates, and successfully before going down, he did get a revive up. That would save the team for now, but that was so close, Arka.
Absolutely, and that was a very clever move. That player was always sticking towards that vending machine region. As soon as he got to know my players were down, immediately goes near that vending machine, puts up a glue wall, had around few seconds left in his pocket, goes in for one revival, and then he's like, I'm gonna kneel down for now. Yes, put out of the misery. Now SATL are gonna be looking much more confident with 4 eliminations already in their name. But what's more important is to see who gets eliminated first. Silver Eagles, again, the wings are going to be clipped off. And Kar98, it seems like they're slowly catching up to that momentum. Autobots versus Team Insane was also taking place. And for some reason, we are able to see that one of the players surviving has somehow evaded from that fight, gone to the center of the map, and got that revival through as well.
SATL, they are on a hunt and they're not stopping. Team Hind, they're the ones being hunted right now. From one end, non-stop gaming pros, and on the other, Team Tycoons. Team Hind just spoke about them of having an opportunity to redeem a performance that they were able to dwell on in Purgatory and continue it further in Nexterra. Unlikely, and unlikely is also looking for the likes of NG Pros and Team Tycoons. And so far, Arka, I have not been able to make sense because of the chaotic fights throughout the day that we've seen that, hey, NG Pros are going to be better in this fight, Team Tycoons are going to be better in this fight. It has never seen a day like that. But yes, one thing for sure that we've seen today is been individually, a couple of players are getting double the times of elimination that we generally see from anybody.
And guess what? It seems like it's time for some bird hunting as well, as Team Tycoons slowly and steadily, even though they know that they don't have the complete manpower, are now relying on getting those eliminations as early as possible. Gopu goes in for that revival, but NG Pros from the backlines has now started to pick up a bit of a trouble. But NG Pros, they need to be careful. They've got 3 eliminations, all formats standing. Gopu on the other side against Vasista. He knows the information. He's been jumping over that glue wall to do much damages. Will be using the Tatsuya dash, getting away from that position. Or probably the Oscar dash. And then eventually, he's going to be caught off guard as Vasista has taken down 2 of the players. And TT are going to be in a bit of a trouble as more players are now going to be targeted, as Hind, Non-Stop Gaming as well as Vasista are going to be sniffing around these 2 final players.
I'm so perplexed at this moment, Arka. I'm kind of trying to think which team is making a mistake. Team Tycoons on one end having a fight with NG Pros looked like it was good. But then it is a fight with Vasista. Don't know what's happening. But right now it is going to be SATL who are not prepared for 1+ God's Reign. Already a knock and an elimination. Marvel trying his best. He tried and revived a player. But that's not going to be enough. Chronos protecting his teammates. Manish, Marvel stepped out and eventually will be put to misery. And the teammates from God's Reign will be back to their back to their feet and ready to deliver a lot more blows. An opening that even God's Reign need. Their performance in terms of consistency, Arka, has not been that great.
Yeah. Revenant on the other side, Katie God. There was only one game where I saw this team play so good. Right, Sahil has got that double digit, and after which now look at the way they're playing it out. It seems like they're doing every single mistake which is not supposed to be done. Wolvin caught out in the open, doesn't look at his backlines, is going to be punished. Vasista on the other side, they have started to pick up frags as well. NG Pros, RNT, both of them were in deep troubles, but somehow Manu was able to revive all the players from the side of NG Pros towards that mud side region. But for now, Autobots, they are keen to pick up one more player, and they're going to be successful as they were persistent.
Mayank, a nice sought after elimination. His teammates are going further, but it's not the players of Revenant X Park that they're going to be meeting. It's going to be Reckoning. While Reckoning heard all these shots, they decided that maybe they could find an opportunity to find an opening, but it could be them coming under oppression. Drain, a fight against Kar98. Bot got up close and he gets taken down, but an exchange for an exchange. Manish is down. He will be quickly revived, but Bot God, he cannot be. His confirmation will come for God's Rain, and Harsh running out in the open. Another mistake. Kar98, one after another. Players are getting taken down. The last man standing. His glue wall was destroyed. His position is compromised. A nice dash coming through. And so he gets taken down. That's a big triple coming in from Anshu. Feel like there's still one more player from Kar98 somewhere in the mix made a run for the gun.
Absolutely, but what's gone into Anshu? Look at the way he's like hungry for those eliminations. Every single corner he's been dashing, he's been picking up frags. And the Tatsuya seems to be, the perfect character for him. The active skill and the support he's getting from his team as well. Even that has been phenomenal. But for now, the circle, since it's betrayed most of the teams at the northern side of the map, we'll have to slowly wait and watch which among these teams would want to make the Plazaria region their hometown. For now, Silver Eagles and Vasista Esports are way too close to comfort at that center of the circle, and I hope that they know that Reckoning is coming in closer.
And there is an opening fire already. Ninja is down. And Ninja is not having a good day. Yesterday, towards the end of our games, it looked better. But today, Reckoning as a whole, if they have a great game, it's directly a booyah. Otherwise, it looks very dicey. They get a couple here and there. Kar98 Soul makes a drop, and that is not good. Wata would have spotted him, but he's also worried of from where he is going to get fired. Ronit is what he's regrouping with. Sohan also starts dropping with the revive card that was used, and he has a P90 on hand. NG Silver Eagle in the mix of these buildings, and also not having a great day here on day 2 of week 1.
Reckoning, look at them. They're hungry. They're taking advantage of every single situation. Sohan on the other side, as he landed down, I was doubting on his skills because he's not going to have that well of an armory. But it seems like, what he has is enough for now. As Autobots, they heard all that commotion. They got in closer. As Sohan goes in for another revival, are they prepared for an assault coming in from the side of Autobots? Reckoning, they're going to be pushing towards Vasista. And I hope that they're well prepared, because somewhere I feel that they have no idea that this team is somewhere around the shoulder.
Reckoning quickly jump ship. They move to another compound, and there they're entering the likes of NG Silver Eagle. They spot the glue walls and they try to start firing. Team Insane in the meantime, they catch a glimpse of Autobots, and now Reckoning making a quick run. It's Ninja calling it. He spots a compound which he feels could be a safe haven for the team, and rightfully does so. That complete compound is empty from anybody and anybody's oppression. But the backline is not clear. It's going to be 1 plus God's Rain. They will put a trouble. But this initiation of what Vasista Esports could have done against Reckoning, it happened with the likes of Insane Esports, and they've been a little bit of a ripple of bullets happening between them.
NG Pros now will have to make it inside the circle. Are they going to fly in? And if they do, on which building are they going to land? Because the complete Plazaria region is right now, covered with a lot of teams. And I hope to see one of these teams, try to give a challenge to those who are coming in, the late rotators. SA2L still have to make it inside the circle. TT as well. NG Pros, Kar98, Team Hind. Talk about the big names. Nobody prioritizing the circle will now have troubles to make it to the center. Whereas on the other side, Ansh trying to do his best, does see that TT tries to fly in, and he's going to be connecting shots. A lot of them have already gone down. Vasista, they're going to be reaping them. They're going to be eating them out as Team Tycoons gets eliminated. Most of those eliminations have been shared by all these teams.
Unfortunate. They were in a sandwich. They couldn't have done much there. Team Hind still fighting, and who are they fighting against? That's going to be Kar98, and Kar98, a team we thought could have had a really good game here. They've been getting isolated, pushed off. But Team Hind, an opportunity. Harsh decides to step out. Sid from the backline spots him, puts him down, and that is going to be an opportunity, a second life for the players of Team Hind to get back into action. But look at the number of teams still surviving, except for the one team to be eliminated, Tycoons. Everybody else is still alive. I don't know what Ronit was doing there. That was a distant fight, and God's Reign so far have been winning all these distant fights in their favor. And now with that shots being retaliated, but no! Ninja! He stops all of them before they could leap from that jump pad. What are those shots? And now Ronit assisting him.
Oh my god, I think they're just going to continue this assault as one player has gotten closer. More grenades are going to be tossed in, knocked down because of the zone. Now God's Reign are in deep troubles. Ansh very low on HP, Manish as well. These two men need to play like they're two brains connected to one body, and I hope that, you know, they're able to regroup, make sure they have a better outcome out of this. Yes, one of the player gets finished off, but what's more important for them right now? To make it inside the circle.
Team Hind, they're also fighting for the same thing, but NG Pros are not allowing. They've already dropped two. It's all Karma. He's spotted, covered in all directions, and NG Pros, a clinical execution of getting a control of the line, the play zone, making sure there is no hindrance while they're entering through. That's a brilliant conversion. 7 eliminations in total, but the tough fight is still not done. They have a long way to go into the circle, and the team next in front of them is going to be Insane, who are already sending out bullets.
Don't stop. They need to jump out of this location, and look at the Skylar's ability also coming in. But eventually, since they've got a bit of a breathing space out there, they'll now try to revive themselves. They have to take down the side of Team Insane to make it through, or they'll have to deal a lot of damage. I hope everybody have got fought for themselves, but somehow now they've got that mini launcher, and now they're trying to make it inside the circle. What they do is not make inside the circle, but head on to another fight altogether. Team Insane, are they ready to welcome this fight? As Struggle trying to do his best, gets in closer, puts players down, and it's going to be Hacker all down on his knees. The trade is going to be even Steven, but Anup, he's going to be back on his feet as quickly as possible. And Team Insane, I think they're going to be saying goodbye from this lobby very, very soon. If not for that one last player, RN505 at a distance, we'll have to wait and watch. NGs, are they prepared to make it inside the circle?
They're so close, right at the nick of it. But still, one player from Insane, and they know where he is. Struggle trying to push forward. He spots the player, sending off bullets, and finally, they will put him to rest. Team Insane are eliminated, but so much commotion made. NG Pros is not going to be an easy entrance still, because Reckoning, now they're the ones stopping them, and Ninja, we saw what he did to the likes of God's Reign, and he's continuing this. He first did it to Cropsy, then to Struggle, and I think Struggle will be eliminated. That confirmation will go to Ninja, and now Reckoning are jumping in, seeing this zone close out, because Vasista Esports are hastily right behind them, and Wata tries his best. It's only Ronit right now as the zone is closing in. He has to run up, he has to see for an opportunity if he has, but it's going to be very tough, and Cropsy survives, and it's Reckoning Esports who do not make it.
I mean, I'm not shocked at this point of time. Vasista, the way they waited that fight with Reckoning was a very, very clever move. SA2L on the other side, the top 3 predictions I think is going to be coming out true, because SA2L, they need this booyah. They need to hold on to their horses. They've got that man advantage, but what they need to do first is clip off Silver Eagles, then concentrate on Autobots, and then and only then concentrate on Vasista, because if they keep themselves busy with Vasista or NG Pros, that is when they're going to be pounced upon. Let's see what's going to happen, but for now, Vasista, it seems like they're holding the situation very well, as Harsh is going to be there in the crosshairs.
It is going to be tough. Vasista Esports trying their best. SA2L on the other end have all their 4 players, but the circle is not favoring them. It's moving on the other direction. They have to make a quick jump. Their fight is against the likes of Autobots, NG Silver Eagle, but the first one is with Autobots. They're trying their best to deliver the blows, and they're finding those openings. Mayank is down, but in the meantime, a little bit of a skirmish happens, and Vasista Esports get eliminated. Also, thanks to NG Pros making a mix in that fight. Sohail, the last man standing, making sure none of the players of God's Reign make it through, and Kaushik, by the time he could get closer to his teammates, all of them have been swept off individually right now. God's Reign and Autobots, along with NG Pros, are survived by, whereas SA2L have Divine and Ursh.
Corpse, he needs to be careful. He's capable of that 1v2, but what's more important right now is prioritizing the circle, and he's taking that damage as he goes in for a wide rotation. Whereas SATUL, they're dealing the damage of the zone and slowly try to make it inside. Hirsch gets knocked out because of Corpse, who's been very, very clever in such situations. Divine, now his target is going to be locked. Corpse getting in closer, sees Divine, does take 1 or 2 pot shots. Eventually puts up a glue wall, gets in closer, puts up a grenade. A very clever move coming in, but he needs to be careful. To his left is another player who's waiting for this opportunity in the name of Kaushik. Corpse gets in closer. Can Divine pull this off, or can Corpse put an end for SATUL and make it into the top 3?
This is the best fight that we are going to see. Individually, every team being survived with one player. This is the top 4 teams, individually players trying their best to get their team a booyah, an opportunity. Divine and NG Pros together, and on the other end it is going to be Autobots and God's Reign. Divine and Cropsy now have a skirmish. Divine going all in, and yes, he gets them down. What a shot coming in from the P90. On the other end is going to be Sohail and Kaushik. He is also pushing with the P90. Is the P90 the MVP weapon for the booyah here on Nexterra? And Kaushik is waiting for his opportunity. A push coming in, Chrono being activated, but it's going to be Sohail with the M590, but Divine with the AC80 secures a big booyah for SATUL to stage a comeback.
The comeback which they were waiting for. A comeback which is going to start the boost, the confidence within this team. And I hope to see them perform much more better. Your prediction comes out right. And congratulations to you as well. But for now, SATUL, what a game they've showcased out here. Unnecessary push coming in from the last player of NG, and he's got to be punished. And for now, this fight is going to be remembered for a long time because it was a 1v1v1 which we have rarely seen in this tournament.
I think the last time we saw this was a play with K9 in the mix, where Dafiq ended up getting a booyah for his teammate, where we ended up seeing monster trucks in the mix. But I think you have to give it to Divine on the way he converted this play in his favor, and he waited for an opportunity, and Autobots as well as God's Reign started fighting in front of SATUL's Divine as if it was an act, right? He was just watching the show, let them finish this, and the last one to feast is going to be mine, and the last laugh was also his.
I mean, NG Pros, the intention was clear. It's more about going towards that elimination. They do not bother about getting that booyah. I somewhere felt like teams misread the number of people alive might be a team altogether. So he was like, you know what? It's better I take a 1v1 rather than a 1v2. And that's the mindset which was going on out there.
It was a lot of chaos. I think this day can be written and etched as a chaotic day in general. The fight between Group B and C has been completely a picture which cannot be described to its best, because there was everything happening in terms of action. SATUL topping the charts with a total of 28 points. Their eliminations itself score at 16, and that's a big comeback game which was necessary for SATUL, because I was surprised to see this from the start of the day, but finally they make a move.
Absolutely. But two teams we are predicted kind of, coincide. And NG Pros and SATUL, they're going to be happy with the position they're holding right now in the standings. 24 points in total with 17 eliminations. NG Pros look forward to be the team with the highest eliminations. Whereas on the other side, we're able to see that Autobots are also picking up that pace, coming back into this fray. God's Reign as well. Those teams who had to make a comeback are slowly doing so. But for now, Divine, he's lived up to his name. He's been the Divine God for his team. The close range battles had been phenomenal. Probably it's the AC80 which he was carrying, but it was the P90 which was singing the songs of death.
It was that opening which was necessary with the P90, with the Skylar that he played towards the end. That sniper game came into play, and that was the reason. He started things off in that manner for SATUL, and he ended as the best person in that role for his team, and he will get that booyah. 9 total eliminations in only his name, and 3,000. And I think whenever we look at the MVP player, it has to be somewhere around that 2,000 or 3,000 echelon of damage coming through, and that's what he's done. But this is not just because of only him. His teammates also helped till the very end to push up. Before Divine was all alone, there was still Ursh with him, the rusher, and that also somewhere helped Divine to get closer, while Ursh maybe kind of became a little bit of a prey, and Divine just used that, and he said, hey, I'm going to make sure that your sacrifice is not going to go down in vain. He played his Oscar to best, but I think SATUL in general as a whole, with Steffi and A124 play to perfection, Arka, which was missing so far.
Absolutely. Now, I was expecting that no team would actually go in closer to the double-digit elimination again, because the first two games were bonkers with two players, but slowly Divine is able to catch that up. And I feel that, you know, if SA2L can do it, then another team can actually do it as well. So the last game, if there's a different team which picks up a booyah, it's good for us to say that today esports has won.
Yeah, and today has been I think, very high scoring day. Like, if a team is getting a booyah, it is so close to that 30 mark, and we've also seen it being pushed above 30 compared to day one's performances. That tells us that, hey, I think today, after teams kind of getting an idea in Group B of how fights are, and Group C understanding how Group B plays, they took up right fights in the start of the day. If you see, it was Group C getting a lot of victories in their favor, getting that booyah for themselves, a lot of points in their name. But when we come towards the end of the day, these teams who we would have thought should start picking up opportunities have finally started doing so, especially seeing even Autobots towards the end of things. God's Reign finally, from yesterday's momentum, it's carried over to today to show up a better performance, and I think they'll be very happy. So is their team.
I somewhere feel that, you know, tomorrow is going to be a very different story altogether, because one group is kind of dominating over here and that very group is going to be facing off Group A, and things are going to look so different because they all know that tomorrow is the day where the big dogs come in. So I just hope that they're well prepared. For those who have not been prepared for the upcoming games, all you have to do is go share it among your friends, this specific stream, and also make sure you grab yourself some popcorns and drinks, because the upcoming games are going to be much more interesting. This is me, Arka and Lucifer. We're going to be heading into a short break. See you guys on the other side.
patterns are something that we do really like to see when as casters, when we are looking at our games, but that's not something that's happening here in TEZ Free Fire Max India Cup 2025. My name is Lucifer. Joining me on desk for this last and final game of day 2 is going to be Auzora. How are you taking this in?
Well, there's a lot of surprise coming in, Lucifer. Moreover, here's a pattern that we can see in all of these games that we have seen in previous day and today. We can just go ahead and see all different teams going ahead and getting that booyah, which is important and vital at the same time. But here's the thing, right? The domination, that is one of the factors that most of the teams are going ahead and showcasing. It's just falling shy towards that number 1 spot. So yeah, I'm just expecting another team going ahead and bagging yet another booyah from all of these previous teams. So expectations are high, things are going haywire, Solara being the last one, and I'm not taking it right. So yeah, to answer your question in short.
Right, as you know, nobody can kind of take this in and figure out what is actually happening. But when we speak about the teams to watch out for, it's going to be Vasista Esports. Solara is something that they've loved, and that is one of the reasons they managed to qualify while they were that Ultra Instinct mode that they were able to carry out. 1 booyah, total 29 eliminations, but right next to them, a team that we just feared in our online qualifiers, God's Reign with 24. Then coming in is going to be NG Pros with 20, and then Car 98 with 18 eliminations. Those are the top teams to watch out, but where is their preferred drop spots? It's on your screens, and it seems like NG Pros will have an early on duel with Reckoning, and that is going to be an interesting one if NG Pros or Reckoning need points today.
The split is beautiful, not gonna lie about that, but what is going on? What's that cluster towards the mid? Archway, Bloomtown, TV Tower, every single one of them want their own screen time. What's happening? Casa Vista as well. It's so close. Silver Eagles, they need to spread their wings. That's where they're getting clipped again and again. But the others who are heading towards the north direction, they're all safe. Nobody to go ahead and take the fight. Moreover, I'm very excited to see towards the mid part itself. But talking about the predictions, Lucifer, I've already locked it. There was one thing that I had to copy from your end, but the others are mine and mine only. RNTX, Car 98. Car 98, of course, they're on a really good killing spree. And I'm hoping that they can go ahead and, take that momentum forward. Reckoning, because Reckoning has been showcasing some really nice gameplays since the beginning. A1 since day one. And I'm hoping that they're going to end on a really nice note. What about you?
I think I was very confused in that hashtag 1 and 2 between Car 98 and Vasista Esports. It was a very close one. I put my bets towards the likes of Car 98. I thought they have all the chips in. Whereas when we go towards the likes of Team Tycoons, it's been a very dicey day for them. We expect very aggressive performances, a lot of eliminations in their name. Maybe not a booyah, but I think that's something I missed out here so far coming in from Team Tycoons. But just like the previous game, I think anything can still happen. Somebody can throw a wrench in our prediction works. But let's see if that's going to happen, because right now we are heading to Solara. This is the last game for Group B and C on day 2 of week 1. Is it going to be working since our predictions are going to say that? Or is it going to be something that the teams want?
There's one thing that I would like to highlight. We cannot change our predictions, but viewers out there, you guys can change it any given moment. But I would really love to see what will be your pick in this final map. We all know the kind of transition that teams have gone through from passive to aggressiveness. And then yet again, we see them in the defensive side. This is just absolute beautiful thing to watch. And Solara being the last map, we can expect something more right now. That's about TV Tower, that's about Casa Vista, and this fight is going to initiate in a very nice note. But there's another thing that is going on. Licky, he's heading towards Casa Vista, being inside the circle, but the others are heading towards Aquarium. That is SATUL that I'm talking about.
Delta side as well, we spoke about NG Pros and Revenant X Park. This could have been a fight, and it could have been an unwanted one between the teams who were grabbing a lot of points. Seems like that's not happening. Maybe a little bit of a shot sent out, but Car 98, they're trying their chances, picking up a fight. It seems like one of the players from Reckoning took a different and a wary approach, and that's going to be trouble for him. He's already knocked Soul. Ronit trying his best. He gets one more. Can he? He's so close. His teammates trying to stop him from getting that elimination, but they couldn't. He grabs that elimination amongst the others and then goes down.
For a second, I thought that Car 98 were like, wait a second, who is this wolf in the form of a sheep? And all of a sudden, that one player who was trying to get that elimination point, he did secure it, but at the cost of his own life. Reckoning, what a lovely way to start. And this is the kind of wild card that these teams are going ahead and showcasing in this particular map. Dinoculus used to get the information, but for now it's not going to be enough as there's no one who's nearby. Esetiol on the other end, good fights coming in, but Licky, he's been taken down, belittled from the likes of Autobots.
Esetiol were around Aquarium, but it seems like they try to spread a little afar to look forward to information, and they get hit with the likes of Autobots. And similar situation, Vasista Esports and Team Tycoons, an easy grab for Yuno. And I think out of all the players from Vasista Esports, this man has been so smart in the way he's been playing. He's always considered information as a proper channel for finding a lot of eliminations and points, and he's so far converted majority of it, and therefore his teammates also rising on top.
Moreover, here's the thing, right, Lucifer? I would really appreciate the fact that Vashishta from yesterday have completely changed the entire pattern from being so oppressed and now just going ahead and playing their own game. The aggressiveness is out there. The fights are looking more cleaner now, surgical to be precise. And look at them. They're just bouncing right in. Height advantage on point, and Team Tycoons under the radar. The fights are going to look insane as Swaroop, he was knocked down, but now he's going to get that instant revival as well. Amino, he's very close, but at the nick of the time, the save comes through. And finally, that one fallen comrade from the likes of Team Tycoon has been confirmed as well. Amino, far off, could not do much, but he can shower some shots, at least get a knock or two, as Team Insane is also in the vicinity and they want to contest the height.
Tiger, he's relayed this information a while back, and that's the reason his teammates are trying to surround, but Tiger's
What
stuck.
is this
Patlu was
cluster?
not seen. He made a little bit of a mistake, and Patlu is the first one to get taken down. But Insane, they're not going to stop. They spotted another team. They think it's going to be the same, and it's going to be Tycoon's Gopu stuck. For how long? But what is Insane doing? They spot another team on the roof. They're like, hey, that's another one for us.
That's another one. And they're getting those knocks. Team Tycoons, they're also taking a really good fight, but it needs to be ended as soon as possible. As RNTX, they're also showering in with those mini launch pads. They're getting the height advantage alongside Vashishta. Look at them. They're stuck. They're stranded. Couple of players alive, and they're the only hope. Vashishta for now bringing back the final two players as well. And this is big. Imagine there's one vending machine and there are like 3 teams using them simultaneously. What?
This is a fight to claim the territory of Riders Club. Looking unstoppable, Vasista, Insane, Team Tycoons, and now Revenant X-Park. And Revenant X-Park, because they came in later into the fight, they are finding opportunities in their hands. Sile picks up another elimination. Swaroop trying to withhold the aggression from 2 directions. A Cassie being used, and Swaroop, this is going to be very tough. Can't do much from the position he's in. He's still trying his best. Swaroop surrounded, still finds.
Wow.
Wolvin has given that information, and now Wolvin is moving in to take down but can he take him down? It's not going to be easy, but he does, and now Swaroop is in big, deep trouble, and Swaroop will also be put to rest. Revenant X-Park, even though they lose a player, they make sure Rider Club is going to be theirs.
Well, quick. Box, and oiling, and every single thing is ready to go. RNTX, what a lovely play from there, and 6 total eliminations. And they were just waiting afar, expecting that the conundrum will come to a stop as soon as possible. It did not happen though. And on the other end, that one player who was trying to escape from the wraths of all of these teams who were there at Bikers Club, he's been caught off guard. And all thanks to Reckoning, he's been taken care of. Hind on the other end, they're also hitting those shots, and it's gonna be on point. Lexos has been taken down from the likes of Jaguar and Team Hind. Well, there's one thing that I told at the beginning of this entirety of today, that is Team Hind, they have to perform, not at the end, but at the start. But now we can see that they are performing at the very end. So can be a shift of pace, shift of paradigm for the next following time. This time around, it's not going to be those many points that they have accumulated. Car 98 versus Reckoning. This is a fight to watch.
Reckoning, they want to get on the top of the table, but it's not going to be easy because Vasista have been doing that. A lot of points in their name. Nice opening. KD God knocks the player. Confirmations coming in for KD God and Ninja both. but it's them both surviving.
Ooh.
On
Nasty.
the other end, Revenant X Spark have the numbers to play with, and that's why KD God is been retaliating, and Ronith right now in trouble. His position
He's in
spotted,
big
and
trouble.
KD God is going to jump right behind him. And that's going to be an iffy spot for Ronith to survive right now. Ninja, he's already made a quick run, launch pad, but how and where does he jump to? Bird Fleet is never safe, and with that, Ronith will be put to rest, hunted down. And so is the likes of the last few players from either end of Team Tycoons and Vasista Esports, and a quick getaway being made. Swaroop and Tiger, they have to make sure that all the players are back up because so much fights have happened. There's not much space left on the map here. And also, if this continues, by the time we end towards the final few circles, again, another matchup with the top 4 teams survived individually, represented by only one player each. Could happen.
This map is so dynamic. You talk about hidden secrets, it's there. You talk about slide system, it's already provided. And teams are taking that quick getaway alongside those couple of glue walls that will help them overall in the run is absolutely amazing. It is working out for the better of OnePlus God's Reign. And we have seen this team perform in Solara, specifically those big numbers, even though they perished much sooner than expected, but they had some really nice elimination points on their name, and I'm expecting similar kind of gameplay from their end. Moreover, the rotations, they are being called in. Vashishta, you can see them, it's there. That one player I can see all the way towards Windmill just to get those players online is important. Moreover, safe journey is even more appreciated.
You did speak about one thing, right, when we were discussing the initial fights and about Team Hind, that they have to put up a best performance from the very start of things. Like that, NG Pros play the opposite from your discussion towards the end. They start off really good. A lot of points, a lot of eliminations. And from there on, they're like, hey, we've done the deed at the very start of it. We've also gotten a booyah to open the day in our favor. Let's take a little bit of a, I would say, segue to ease in the next few games. Yeah, just chilling around, because I don't think we've seen a lot of aggression coming in from there. And whenever they've pushed for an aggression, they've won it. But right now, pushing for aggression, the team that we are kind of hinting with is Team Hind, and they are fighting against Car 98. An opportunity for Team Hind to grab a lot more points. They already had 8 eliminations. Can they push it to 12?
Oh, 12, that looks like a really big number. Merlot, HP low, now it's slowly coming back, all thanks to the electrotherapy that he's receiving. Merlot is the constant person getting those damage being tanked upon. And Car 98, they are running away. They do not want to take this fight. They know that it's going to be a third party coming in. And RNTX, they're the one who are very close to this action. And look at that. The knocks are coming through. RNTX, their one decision from the likes of Car 98 fell short. And with that said, they have proclaimed the entire area. Hind, they are pushing right about now, knowing that the entire commotion is going to come looking for them. But here's the thing. NG Pros, they're not going to stop. They want to go ahead and get that aggression on point. And this is working out. Mac, he's the only one who can save the entire team from falling. And Kotzi, he's been taken down. Struggle, Anubhav, both of them, they need to showcase their sheer aggression. And that's how they can at least get this last man. But unfortunately, Mac just runs away. And that's a really good decision.
He couldn't do anything. But right now, this fight continues. Revenant X Spark and Team Hind. Team Hind, they were the ones to open, knock the players, and now Wolverine and Sylar, the last two ones left. Merlot and Sid, but Merlot goes down. It's up to Sid right now, and it's going to be very tough. Can Sid bring this 1v2 in his favor? He's now taken a different approach. He's climbed the stairs, and from there, he takes a shot, and Wolverine gets an idea. The knock's been not yet dealt. A nade goes through, and now pushing off Sid in another direction. Nice flash freeze. That is going to do a lot of damage, and Sid, who was thinking he would get out of that fight, is now forced back into the compound, because right behind him, there's another team, Revenant X Spark. This team has never looked for a fight. Every other team pounced upon them, and they were the ones who were reaping rewards out of it. But right now, their numbers are not that great. There are 13 eliminations, and Sid, he was not ready for two players pushing together, and Team Hind suffer an elimination, but Revenant X Spark get 14 total points in their name.
M590 for the victory right here. Good shots coming in, but here's the thing. They need to bring in those two players as well. Essetuel on the other end, they have a really nice compound. They can play it safe. They can play it till the very end. And I'm hoping that they do not showcase any aggression other than the teams who are planning to head towards the circle. But here's the place where NG Pros are showcasing that they had built different, that all of that hard work that they did in the beginning, right now they're just reaping the rewards. NG Pros for now just hunting Kar 98 army, and one by one, every single player is falling short for all of those action. NG Pros 9 eliminations strong, and Team Insane, they have been eliminated in all of this action. So he thought that he can play it safe right beside the tree, but unfortunately that stump was not so thick.
A couple of our predictions are not even looking to be playing here right as of now. Vasista Esports are out. Kar 98 are getting pummeled with bullets before they could even enter. This is not looking that great. NG Pros, I think maybe I spoke a little too soon for them. And what they've done is they've just gone ham in. They said, hey, first game is ours, last game is ours. In between, anybody else can do whatever they want. And so far, NG Pros, what a change in a switcheroo in terms of their performance. And I think we've never doubted the likes of NG Pros. Their performance has not something that's been in question. They've been delivering, they've been getting points, they've been very consistent. But however, when we started the day, there was a question on Essetuel, but previous game, they've changed that. But right now, a change on Revenant X Spark, a blink of an eye, a jump coming in from Reckoning, and they're put to dust.
Oh my god, Reckoning! The day of reckoning has come through water. Lovely shots coming in from AC80. And NG Pros, they are stuck as a sandwich situation. But wait a second. Reckoning, they're the God-sent people right here. NG Pros, they wanted a room, the space to breathe. They receive it. But at what cost? Reckoning is taking 4 shots at both the teams. And they're rocking it so far. Kaushik, he thought that he can play it safe, but no, he could not do that. But on the other end, Reckoning is also facing the wrath of the opponent. So close as to one player standing. Ninja, the last man. What can he do now?
Made a big jump, but unfortunately it did not work out. But on the other end, something that did work out is going to be Team Tycoons. They managed to eliminate Essetuel. But NG Pros, their trouble is still not dealt with. Right now, God's Reign, they spot them, they see an opening, and they try to push them off. Their glue wall's destroyed, Anubhav gets taken down, Manish holding them at bay, and on the other end, it's going to be Ninja from Reckoning. On 2 fronts right as now. Non-stop gaming have nowhere to run for, but finally the glue wall goes down and Ninja is done for. Reckoning get eliminated. NG Pros, this team look unstoppable in all directions, but Team Tycoons, they have the most favorable position. But look at Hirsch behind enemy lines. Do Tycoons realize this? If they don't, Hirsch can break and make this game for Kar 98.
They do, but they're not giving any attention to him. They know it. If he gets the attention, that the others are gonna pounce on them. NG Pros, so far the enemies right in front have been taken care of. Harsh right behind, and Team Tycoons, this can be that golden opportunity that Harsh can go ahead and utilize. Hitman right behind, shots taken, headshot is gonna be the call, and look at Harsh. He's gonna celebrate this one. A victory for sure. And there's the close quarter battle that we were waiting for so long. NG Pros versus Team Tycoons. And Tycoons, they're taking it like a Mexican wave. Shots fired, couple of knocks coming through. And they have swept the floor with NG Pros. Last man standing, Harsh. He's trying his level best to at least get a knock or two. But that's pretty much it, as 3 players are bouncing on top of him. And what a lovely game coming in from Team Tycoons.
Brilliant. I think that execution was phenomenal, and especially that even though they lost that player, and as you said, maybe disregarding Hirsch over there, eventually worked out. I think they kind of played that number game when they understood, hey, if we try to decide to play a 1v3, we're going to expose ourselves for another team who have better numbers, and maybe they can trade this out better. And what they did was, let's just run to the likes of NG Pros, and they pushed really hard and forced them from their positions, and they were not ready for that fight. That's what happened. But Hirsch, man, this was a smart move. That was very nice to find that opening. But till the very end of things, he did not have a lot of glue walls to play around, and Gopo, with that final blow in that final shot, gets this booyah for his team.
You know what's the lesson learned right here, Lucifer? That do not, for the sake of just staying alive, stay in front or behind of a tree, because the tree is not going to help you at all. I mean, come on. It could have been a really good fight, but moreover, what a way to go ahead and seal things down. Team Tycoons, out of nowhere, they're taking the booyah. And yes, Lucifer, your prediction is right. Team Tycoons have landed themselves a really nice booyah. Moreover, I'd love to see the way Harsh was bagging in all of those shots. And, well, NG Pros, the aggression did not land right for them.
Let's take a look at the points that teams have accumulated, and it is going to be total 30 points that Team Tycoons grab for themselves, a total of 18 eliminations. NG Pros get 26 total points. Reckoning coming in with 19 and a close 1 point difference for Revenant X Spark at 18, Car 98 at 14, and Team Hind, slow but steady. The climb is there, but they have to wish for a lot more in the next future days coming through, and the next future day is going to be a next week performance that they have to look for. God's Reign, I think it's been a complete up and down day today for them. The start of it was good, but the end of it kind of somehow faltered. But throughout the day, there have been 3 teams, except for Team Hind, who have moved out from this performance issues. NG Silver Eagles, Team Insane, and Autobots. These teams somehow have had a little bit of a disappointing day. But let's take a look at today's standings.
Wow. NG Pros, 118 points. I mean, day one was much better. 110, 106 is what we can look at. But here's the difference. It's like night and day. Washishta, big step up coming from there. And Team Tycoon's 3rd position. And I'm loving the way the performance is coming through. Reckoning Esports on the other end could not showcase that much of aggression, but 73 total points is what they have deserved as well. Car 98 Army with 72, Revenant X Spark 69. They had a really good second game, and all of a sudden, every single thing has come to a full stop. So they need to work more on the momentum-based game of it. Moreover, SATUL, Autobots, all of these teams are still trying the level best in order to reach towards the final points. Talking about the MVP, Flash, for sure is going to be given the title of it in the map of Solara. 7 total eliminations with damage over 2.6k. And this is absolutely stunning coming in from his end.
Brilliant. Damage of 2,600 coming in from his end, and he was a part of almost 14 eliminations, 13 in total to be specific. Well, that is big stuff. Flash in his name, having Tatsuya running all around, making sure as a rusher he is not giving an opportunity for his opponents to make an opening in their favor. And I think of all the games Team Tycoons have to celebrate in this last game, Solara, and this is why we say, right, Solara is a map and a game where you generally don't have a complete idea of how every team is going to play out, because when we saw the preferred drop spots as well, it changed when we came into the actual game. But changing is the name of the game, and that's how your active skills also have to be. And so far we've been seeing a lot of Steffi as well, and I really like this playing out for a lot of teams.
Couple of rushers, 1 grenadier, and you can even look at the backup support coming in as a sniper. Hitman, for sure, he has sealed a lot of deals and helped the rushers to go ahead and secure those knock points as well. Avron, of course, we have seen coming in as the pet to get the information. Dinoculus being utilized, and Beaston, of course, has been one of the friends of Amino. So we can look at the way even the team has contributed, more coming in from Flash, and then slowly but surely from Hitman alongside Gopu OP. And it's Amino at the very end. So good amount of eliminations, good amount of damage, and that's how you seal the deal for today.
Team Tycoons, something that they needed to make sure it becomes a highlight for the day.
Yeah.
A cherry on top of the cake, and they've done that rightfully so. But this has been a big game, I think, for a lot of teams, and this is what we've been talking throughout the day is today, specifically in week 1, has been high scoring for every team. Look at this, total 91 eliminations out of 112 knocks. That is big coming in, and also 210 glue walls destroyed. This is a big day here, Azora.
Big one. Solara being the last map, and every single one of them were keeping the energy till the very end conserved so that they can utilize all of that right about now. It's a really good game coming in from most of them, and like you rightly mentioned, Day 2 was all about getting those big numbers, and 38 so far has been the biggest among all. So yeah, overall good performances, and of course it was done by RNTX itself. So from there, I believe they have fallen short, that the aggression did not land well. But let's just go ahead and see who has led the entire path in the overall standings.
It should be Reckoning. This is a team that we did speak about that should have had a little more booyahs. Yes, they're on top as of now, but I think we would have seen a lot more, to be honest, Auzora, because Reckoning Esports, comparing the performance to what we saw in our online qualifiers to the league stage, they do a lot more. But I think 165 is really a good number, a catch up to the others. Vasista Esports coming in close second at 157 total points. But God's Reign, they've had a really better day. Yes, the last game was a little bit of a downfall, but overall, day 2 was spectacular comparison to day 1.
You know, Autobots still have opportunity, but Team Hind, the opportunity is long gone. Aerobots, yet again, opportunity is still there to go ahead and shine and perform. NG Silver Eagle on the other end, I believe 59 will be the only point that they have secured alongside Team Hind with 48. So Group B, they have played their fair share of deal. And now it's all on the next day, which is tomorrow, A and C. It's going to be an intense battle where we can at least see some teams rising up, or they might get suppressed by the way both of them play.
At the end of week 1, I'm going to be completely worried for NG Silver Eagle and Team Hind. Unfortunate of their start on day 1. They had just, especially Team Hind had only like 12 points. NG Silver Eagle somewhere around 20. Today they were able to grab around 30 for Hind, and NG Silver Eagle somewhere around 40 points or so. And therefore they maybe made that slight move. But as you can see, 15 and 18 is not a great spot to be at, Auzora. And tomorrow the other teams, especially Nightmare, Autobots, SATUL, Aerobots will finish their 12 games, and NG Silver Eagle and Team Hind will move towards the bottom points, bottom positions, and they have to wait for week 2. And I think that is going to be a tough turmoil for them to go through. But as we did speak about the previous day 1, Godlike at the 5th position, so they will have a lot to catch up to the likes of Reckoning, who are sitting at 165. It's not a big jump, but a total of around 55 points, not a big difference. Then coming in is Total Gaming, who had a wonderful start, followed by Team Tycoons, who just we saw their performance and ended the day as a highlight with that booyah. Jaunty Gaming, a team who I thought could actually start things off with the booyah, haven't gotten yet. Genesis have gotten with the consistency that they've displayed with a total of 79 points. Then coming in is Insane. And Insane, they've finished all their matches, and I'm worried for them as well, because Car 98, Revenant X Spark will all start making a move. Car 98 had a booyah, but also a downfall. Revenant X Spark, same. They had a booyah and their games didn't go through. I think that after that midway segue after game 3, a lot of these Revenant X Spark, Car 98 teams did not have a lot to get to, whereas the teams who wanted to come back like SATUL, they staged it, and a team who were waiting for that booyah from a long time, it was due for them, was Vasista, who picked it up eventually.
Well, true, Vashishta, all kudos to the performance. They have landed 3rd position. Moreover, here's the thing, right? Their 12 games are done. And the way they started compared to yesterday, today, the plays were absolutely insane. Mind-boggling is what I can say. But NG Pros, if you look at the kind of average that they've established, in the previous day, we could see 110 being the maximum number. 6 maps played, right? But NG Pros have done one thing better, which is 118 total points in a 6 map interim. So I'm just loving the way they're bringing all the firepower, and I hope that they can showcase a similar kind against Group A as well. As tomorrow we're gonna go ahead and see A and C yet again clashing, but A will have the opportunity to go ahead and see what just happened in today's 6 maps. So super important, super vital for them to do their homework alongside hit where it hurts the most.
Let's see if they do it. This is going to be the Group A and C that Auzora was talking about. It is going to be the last day of the week. Who's going to put their best foot forward? Let's see tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching Free Fire Max India Cup 2025. We'll be back with Day 3 action.